Go.
Go, cunt!
Oh, Ooga fucking Ooga cunts. It's the cunt stream. Tonight we are joined by Bearing and Baracus, and Schmeckel is here in spirit because his internet keeps kicking him in the dick.
That was a fucking long pause at the start, man. That thing was yellow.
Well, I don't ever know how long with the live, and it didn't even pop up on my screen until like just a second ago.
No, that's fine. But you need to step into my office because you're fucking fired. I swear to God.
That was a good 15 seconds, man. You're gonna look like a retard at the start of this stream.
You're gonna look like that dude who's just waiting for the fucking newscast to actually like go to them, but they're just like on a long ass delay, so they're just kind of holding their fucking fingers to their ears, like, are we supposed to go yet? Yeah. Oh man, we're live! All right.
Oh, you know, growing pains, man. Suck my dick, Baracus. So today we wanted to talk about everything going on. We're gonna be running a Thursday show called This Week in Societal Cancer. So we're gonna focus on everything and anything going on in the world, and figured why not get Bearing in here since he just made a Kanye video and Kanye is freaking everyone out again.
Yeah, he is, but I find it a bit disingenuous. What are your thoughts on the latest Kanye thing, the slavery thing? What do you think of
that? You mean he's being disingenuous, or what they showed was disingenuous?
No, I think the way that people are reacting to it, especially the mainstream media, is disingenuous.
Yeah, I think honestly that they're just trying to basically run the guy into the ground because of the fact that he has a different opinion than, any traditional leftist. And, that's where they expect all black people to land, is on the left. And when you have, the Candace Owens and the Kanyes who don't want to deal with the bullshit and just want to be kind of free of thought, they start going after them.
They're hanging around IRL now. That'd be pretty cool. And imagine if fucking Kanye rang up and said, let's hang out.
Well, that TMZ interview, she was there with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're over there talking and doing their thing. And then you have people getting, like, basically they took and snipped that little bit down to make him look as crazy as possible. I don't know if you saw the shortened version.
Do you reckon there was a lot snipped out of it?
Of the original? Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually there is. There's somebody uploaded an actual partially unclipped version of it, and it actually shows more of what he was saying. Satsu's 2 Cents even actually covered it, and I think he had a little more in his video than some people have been showing on theirs.
But see, even with if the clipped version is what I've got, and it probably would be because I didn't search especially hard for it. I mean, even in the clipped version, it's pretty obvious to me what he's saying. I mean, like they're saying that he's claiming that slavery was a choice, effectively, and that's not what he's claiming at all. He's claiming slavery is a choice. Mental slavery is a choice. There's no was about it. It's an is thing.
I think he's talking currently, and that's the big problem, is people are thinking that he's talking, 500 years ago. And he even threw out a tweet from Rosa Parks where it's like, I could have saved 1,000 more people if they would have only known they were slaves. And I think that's the whole perspective he's trying to get at, is that there's going to be people who are slaves to their own morality and their own thoughts versus like a traditional slave.
Yeah.
They seem to be wanting to push that narrative on him because they want to make him the bad guy. They want to make him the bad guy because he doesn't fit their narrative. And that I would assume you have the clipped version, because there's a 12-minute long version that I actually found, and it was from TMZ's YouTube, and it has the whole conversation with them and the guy who basically comes at Kanye. And it's one of those things where what they clipped out and only used for it is not at all what he was saying. They tried to make him and paint him as a crazy person. And
I'm not even surprised by it, though. To be honest, this is the type of shit that's been happening in media for an incredibly long period of time. Look at Kanye in the beginning of his career. He was known as the god of music by all of his fans. People love Kanye West. They thought he was the greatest human being to ever live. He's got the fucking vocals you wanted to listen to. Oh my God, Kanye West. I can't get enough of Kanye West. And then this motherfucker comes out, what was it, last year? And says if he had voted, he would have voted for Trump. Now, mind you, the words he said were if he had voted, meaning he didn't, he would have voted for Trump, meaning that he actually likes what Trump was saying over what Hillary was saying. And people took that and basically crucified the fuck out of Kanye all over the internet as much as they could by basically taking him out of context and saying he's a Trump supporter. Well, technically, yeah, he is kind of a Trump supporter. I mean, it's a controversial fucking way of making business, man.
What's fucking wrong with that? He's allowed to be a Trump. He's not. It's not like he's a Hitler supporter. He's a fucking Trump supporter.
Exactly. But everybody fucking hated Trump, and everybody still hates Trump. Like, look, I never jumped on the hate Trump bandwagon. I just never liked him before he even decided to run for president. I never liked him when he did a cameo on fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I never liked him when he fucking had his own reality TV show. Trump was one of those nothing celebrities. I never understood why he was even considered a fucking celebrity, because I'm like, he's just a fucking businessman. He's just a guy who has a famous name. Why the fuck are we still going all crazy for him? What? Because he says some fucking crazy shit every now and then? But then Trump decides to start running for president. Seriously, even though he joked about it like 4 fucking times prior. And then he actually starts running for president seriously, becomes a Republican in the run, says some unpopular, opinionated things. Suddenly, all of his fan base is against him. This doesn't surprise me. The second you publicly say something that is unpopular in certain people's opinions, on the Democratic or liberal opinion, on the crazy fringe left opinion, or even the crazy fringe right opinion, the second you say something that is unpopular to a certain circle of nut jobs on the internet, they will destroy your fucking character as often as they can. They will misquote you. They will take you out of context as often as they fucking can. They will try to do everything they can to ruin your fucking career, which ironically will only enhance it.
Yeah, I was kind of the same. I always found Trump really cringy sort of thing. But he actually grew on me during the fucking election campaign. Like I actually quite like his character now. He sort of grew on me, but I don't. Having said that, I don't sort of consider that I support him politically. Not that it fucking matters anyway. I'm not American, but but his character I like now. Because he's a fighter sort of thing. He doesn't give up sort of thing. I think it's that quality.
Oh, yeah. I'm not necessarily a political Trump supporter, but I am a troll Trump supporter. If he's going to come out and say some crazy shit on Twitter and get everybody fucking talking about it, I support the fuck out of that.
Yeah. How good was the South Korean president suggesting he should get the Nobel Peace Prize? That was fucking juicy. That was awesome.
I couldn't stop fucking laughing, and then I saw your video like shortly after hearing about it. I'm like, of course Barry's got a video on this.
I'm fucking so barracking for that. That is fucking so good. I hope he gets it. Just I don't give a fuck about the Nobel Peace Prize, but I fucking hope I'm seriously rooting for him just for that reason. That the internet will implode. It'll be fucking so funny.
Yeah. And the fact that the left is freaking their shit out, like, oh, he's a racist and misogynist. It's like, oh my God, the world's gonna end if he gets this piece of paper that means jack shit. It means jack shit.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, Obama got one for doing fucking nothing for his rhetoric type thing.
Yeah, exactly. And yet they're down with that. But if Trump gets it, because he said, the illegals who come in from the south of us, actual Mexicans can have some bad people in their groups. He's a horrid human who hates all, Mexican Americans. You got to spin that tail.
I think that Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize because he likes to pause a lot. Making people think.
Oh shit.
That might have been it. I don't know. Like, because he pauses so often in his speeches, and I'm
He
just sitting there
fucking does,
watching
dude.
him like, I don't know.
I've
what's
actually
happening.
never noticed that until just now when you've pointed it out. He does this.
Dude, that's
Every
like
time I make
that's
fun
like
of
the
him.
iconic like Obama is the elongated pauses.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
say a quick sentence, you make your point, but then you pause for a long time. It's like equal parts speak, equal parts pause. I don't know what's going on there, but it's like so distracting that you don't even know what the fuck is happening. So everybody was so confused. Like, I guess give him the Nobel Peace Award. Should we? I don't know what happened just now. Did he say good things? Okay.
It kind of seems like it should sound more retarded than it does. Like he's going fast and slow, then fast. Like it's just this jumble of speed type thing.
Yeah.
You would think that it would sound retarded, but somehow it worked, and somehow it whipped the millennials and the older millennials, so those in their 30s now, into a voting frenzy because he was the first president to use social media as a marketing technique for the presidency.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the first one to push hard on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and I think that's really what won him the vote. And you see now, people see how good social media can be for those kind of situations. And you have Russian bots and all this other shit. And now Facebook is sitting in front of Congress being like,
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas
Yeah.
Clinton was the first president to use social media for booty calls.
as he was flying to that island, him and Trump.
Yeah. Oh my god, I think people forgot the 90s so goddamn badly because like all of this fucking extreme Trump hate from the fringe left, they're just hating on Trump. It's like, he's such a piece of shit, and I'm like, he was the biggest supporter for your favorite fucking president combo in the 90s, you goddamn idiots. What he was friends with the Clintons for so long.
He was, yeah.
And since he decided to run against Hillary, he gets the good old boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was so much a boot as it was just Hillary just verbally ripping him to shreds with her misogynist, sexist, xenophobic, Islamophobic speech.
Yeah, it's so repelling, that, isn't it? Like, I reckon that like when she did shit like that would have pushed people away from her just because she's a cunt. Like it's just a cunt thing to do. Like you want to be the president and you're calling, a good portion of the country, fucking just cunts and bigots. Basically, that's not on.
Yeah, that doesn't exactly win people on your side. I don't think anybody has ever really understood that whole concept. Like, you don't win people over to your side of thinking by treating them like absolute garbage. You do it by basically causing them to understand why their way of thinking might not be the best course or whatever the case is. Because like when this feminism craze was going batshit crazy, like prior to it, I was in my teen years and my early 20s and shit. I was in my teen years an anarchist. I hated the government. I hated government systems. Fucking down with the machine, all that shit. Early 20s, I was like, all right, maybe government is a good idea, but I want to be democratic and all that shit. So I even like registered at one point to be a Democrat and all that stuff. And it was fine because for the most part, I was being told this is a better way of living, this is a better way of thinking, so on and so forth. And that's cool, whatever. And then all of a sudden, this feminism craze happens in like the 2010s. And the next thing I know, the more I'm being told I'm a piece of shit for literally existing, I'm just all of a sudden like, I'm turned off. I'm like, I don't really like this side of the fucking argument. So it pushed me farther and farther into the center. And I've reverted back to my, I just don't fucking care anymore attitude. Like, I don't care. Are you a liberal? I don't care. Are you a good person? That's what I give a shit about. I don't fucking care what your political leaning is. Just be cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, very similar, and I'm sort of, I hate being asked whether I'm left or right type thing. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Depends.
You're bearing.
Depends on the issue. Yeah.
What's your political leaning, bearing? I'm bearing. Fair enough. There we go.
No, I don't get that and Baracus, go ahead and read it.
We got from R Wino for $2. Baracus's crotch has a Jerry curl.
Sounds about right.
It does, because like it is super curly down there, and when you moisten that shit up, it looks like an 80s rock fucking thing going on. I don't know what the hell's happening downstairs, but it's pretty insane. Like I feel like I should be advertising for Soul Glow with just my crotch.
Sexual chocolate. Bearing is not left or right. He's a power bottom.
But who's
fair joke.
I don't know, man. I just wish that people would get off of Kanye's ass because he's a black guy who likes Trump. I wish people would get off of anyone else who. It doesn't matter what fucking skin tone you are. You aren't forced into a party. Like, let's relax and see that. Sorry, he doesn't meet your ideals. Sorry, he has different views and is willing to step outside of the norm. He's full of dragon energy, guys. Come on.
I'm dragon energy. I didn't know it before he came out with it, but I'm definitely dragon energy.
I don't know what kind of energy I have, but it's filled with nacho cheese.
Your fisty splinters energy. You got
oh my god. Barry, you son of a bitch, how dare you obviously point out that I spread your docs like the piece of shit I am. And here's my proof that you doxed yourself. I'm going to keep bugging people about this.
Oh, she's lovely.
Yeah.
She has turned her attention to literally anyone who will fucking give it, and it is making me go, oh no, just ignore that right there. That's just a cancerous fucking thing that needs to. They just need attention. That's how they survive.
Have you seen the way she's latched on to Dankula since his sentencing? And she's just obsessed. She's over Sargon and me. She's a Dankula woman, man.
Oh yeah, well, I was shocked when I saw that she had stopped writing Sargon so goddamn hard on social media, and then started going after you twice as hard. Got you kicked off twice, and then all of a sudden she's turning her attention to internet blood sports because she wants to make sure that Tonka will listen to her and never have you on again. And brings you up.
That's not even a joke, is it? She really was trying to keep Tonka from bringing Bearing on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And she tries to do it with these logical arguments. She goes, see, Tonka, you did this, and this was your standard for this. And so, therefore, it computes that you should never have Bearing on again. Done. Game, set, match. And it's just, like, fuck off, bitch.
It was so fucking cringy.
Yeah.
Like, does she not understand, like, what internet blood sports is?
No, she doesn't, clearly.
No.
Has she ever watched like Warski or anyone before they broke up? Because I think she would fucking blow a gasket if she saw the 1488s all up in the chat.
No, I'm pretty sure she ignored Warski this entire time because she was way too busy trying to take down Sargon and Bearing. And when she felt that the victory had been achieved, she moved on to fucking other people. Now it's Dankula. That Scottish son of a bitch has got enough problems. He doesn't need crazy American chick to fucking start jumping down his throat trying to gain his love too.
Yeah. Fuck, what was I going to say? Yeah. No, I've gone blank.
Yeah, she was. I always make the joke that I'm pretty sure she used to flicker bean to Bearing's videos because that's how obsessed she was. Like just the sound of your voice, man, it really turned her on.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I think she has sort of paid a little bit of attention to JF, like, and JF's alt-rightness and he's the fact that he's fucking a retard and all that. But I was seriously hoping that JF did a stream last week with this chick that this super right-leaning chick that he's sort of trying out to be a fucking co-host or something.
Oh,
and she deadpan fucking said to, like, on the stream. She thinks that women should be property again, and she was just so straight faced about it. And fucking I was praying that Christy saw that because the fucking videos would that just the ass mad we'd get out of that would be fucking so funny.
I couldn't stop fucking laughing when I saw clip after clip, and some people were taking it seriously, and I'm just like, no, you dumb fucks. Again, I'm not a fan of JF. I don't really like JF. I don't have a problem with JF, but I don't really like JF. There's just something about him that rubs me the wrong way. But one thing I will always give JF credit for is he does some of the best deadpan humor I have ever seen anyone do. And when he brought that chick on to do exactly that, I was just like, boy, you found your fucking female equal. What the hell happened just now?
Yeah, although I think some of his deadpan humor has in the past not been humor. Like some of the mishaps on the Warski show, I think were actual beef type thing, and he sort of just went with the I was just joking, Andy, fucking excuse.
I was just being humorous. I am a comedian. I like to make the joke. It's okay.
Yeah, it's going to be funny with that new co-host up until she won't, have his anchor babies, and then he's pretty much going to kick her to the curb too.
Shit.
Oh man, she's not potato enough to fucking, for JF to go after. So I don't know.
You know what always baffled me about that big sort of uproar about that apparently he was in a relationship with an autistic chick. He's autistic. So I don't understand what the big issue is.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I would assume like Asperger's or something, or he's a savant of some sort, like photographic memory, because he's not, I don't think he's as high IQ as he claims, but he just knows lots of facts and lots of statistics.
Yeah,
because some of his arguments are.
I've definitely heard him say that he's autistic.
Really, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, I guess it can make sense with what he is. I mean, but then again, Asperger's, it's kind of off the spectrum now. But I don't know.
What does that mean off the spectrum? Does that mean
as in they've said it's not part of our autism anymore? It's its own thing because they can.
Is that more retarded than just autistic? Like, is it?
No,
like
it's less. It's less retarded.
Right.
Yeah, less retarded.
Just a little bit less on the dribble scale.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole situation with him and Warski and all this other stuff is just curious to watch because I'm kind of an outsider watching in. My channel is super small and like I don't really I try to ruffle feathers, but I can't because I don't have enough reach yet. But it's funny to watch these big guys or guys who are coming up in that streaming community, like with Baked Alaska and all that stuff going on. With him and Ice Poseidon and all this shit, it's funny to watch people freaking out over it, and I'm just sitting over here like, huh? Like, why?
Yeah. So that I think that all that sort of like inter fucking community or whatever you want to call it. This group of guys that just keep having these inner sort of dramas. It's getting a bit fucking thin now.
Thin. Dude,
a bit.
Thing has been broken for a while.
What's that?
The internet stupidity with fucking Ice Poseidon and like all of that shit. That's been broken for a while. Like,
yeah, like I mean, yeah. I mean, another stream about how much of a fuckhead Baked Alaska is a bit boring. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I kind of stopped paying attention. Like every single time somebody now, whenever they bring up like, oh, Baked Alaska doesn't learn a thing or hasn't learned anything and he's still doing his cringy shit, I'm just like, I'm not surprised. He hasn't learned a thing since he left BuzzFeed. Is anyone surprised at this point? Like, come on, people. We know, but I understand why people like to watch trash fires. I do watch them myself, so.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, when it's sort of the same trash fire every day, it gets a bit old. But I never really knew of. I basically knew of, but I didn't sort of watch any Baked Alaska shit before just recently. So I didn't know that he'd sort of chopped and changed his views so much.
Oh yeah, he's basically a trend hopper. The guy will jump on any trend that is getting more traction and shit. Like when he was on BuzzFeed, he was an extreme leftist, just like everybody else was. But like when he left BuzzFeed, whether it was on his own accord or he got fired, whatever the case was and shit, he comes out and he starts talking about how he was never that extreme hardcore leftist or anything like that. And then he suddenly jumps into the alt-right stuff, and that gets him even more traction. And then after the alt-right runs its course, he starts jumping onto internet blood sports. When he gets caught being full of shit on internet blood sports, he jumps over to IRL fucking streaming. What's the next thing he's going to jump onto? I don't know.
Yeah, he was trying the fucking event. What was it? Evangelical fucking Christian thing for a day or two.
Yeah, where he baptized that guy, and then he was, using Michael's.
Did he fucking baptize someone? What a fucking.
No, I just heard about the pray. He baptized somebody. That's so fucking.
That's what I heard, and then like he did the whole like I think he was trying to save Chad.
No, fucking Chad cannot be saved. Chad is Chad. Just leave Chad alone.
Oh, that guy was fucking funny. That guy was funny.
Oh man, it's so hard for me to actually like catch up with all of this shit sometimes because I'm like, I absorb so much YouTube information. Like I'm watching Gulf City cartoons, Gulf City streaming, Poisoning the Well, all kinds of other people's videos and fucking streams and everything like that. But then I hear that more drama's happening over on fucking Kumite or the Kill stream, and I'm just like, well, shit, I gotta fucking watch that now. Thank God for Chronos.
Yeah, I tell you who's been entertaining recently. He's Ethan Ralph. He's got a good channel going.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. I don't know what it was, but like I hated Ethan before he actually went to prison and everything, and I think I was just hopping on a hate bandwagon at that point. And then he gets out, he does a cunt stream with Ian Miles Chong. I'm like, I like this guy, so I subbed to him that night. Started watching his streams, and I'm just like, now I really like this guy. He's got a good fucking show. I like what he's doing.
What did he go to prison for, out of curiosity? Because I didn't know who he was before Ralph Retort and all that stuff.
Trying to fight a cop when he was drunk.
He got drunk and took a swing at a cop. It was fucking hilarious.
I'm not a good idea.
He does seem more relaxed or something since he came back.
Yeah, way more relaxed. I think dude is like smoking at least 7 bowls a day now. I don't know. I don't know what he does in his free time, but whatever it is, it chilled him the fuck out. Like no matter, even when he gets hyper or pissed off, like he's still kind of chill.
Well, and God only knows what happened to that guy in prison, you know? Like, I mean, you might be a little chill if you have a hard time sitting down too.
Yeah, he's got one of those adjustable tables so he can like lift his computer up and stand while he streams because he doesn't want to sit down.
It's got the donut seat, so you know.
Oh, we got Stone Mexican guy for $1.99. Bearing, eat more tacos, you kunta pinche oso. I don't know what the fuck just happened right now.
Soft shells or hard shells? What are we talking?
Pink shells.
I think pink shells. With some pink lemonade.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think Ralph's got a good formula because the mix, like I watched his whole stream when he had that crazy ass dude on who was mad because we cut baby's little foreskins off and was freaking out over it. I watched the whole stream because I found Ralph entertaining and the people he was bringing out of his chat entertaining.
Was that with Hypocrite? Did he jump on and have a go at him?
I think he might have. It was this guy named Greg, and then he ended up actually having a pediatrics doctor on, and it was just funny to listen to the guy freak out, and then like parents and mothers who, you know, follow Ralph and watch Ralph and just were screaming at him for having the audacity to try to tell parents that they can't circumcise their kids.
Mm.
But I don't know. In the chat asking where's the bear with boobs, and I'm like, oh, she means sugar tits.
She's asleep.
What time is it over there, brother?
It's 1:37 p.m., man.
Whoa, it's the afternoon.
Fucking lazy bitch.
Oh, that's sometimes when your guys' relationship spills onto the internet for whatever fucking reason and shit, it is pure gold because I think I was watching it happen as the two of you were fighting over fucking Teddy on Twitter.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop laughing my ass off. And then when Sugar Tits uploads a video onto, I think it was your channel, where she exposes you, I'm just like, I swear, these two are some of the most loving, toxic fucking couple.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if she ever got rid of that spider and handled it for you.
No, it kind of what happened to it? No, sorry, she did move it, but I think she moved it into like into the laundry or something, and then it didn't like that spot, and so it fucked off, and so we just assumed that it died. She was actually quite upset about it.
Oh wow, I was on your side on that. Fuck Teddy, fuck that goddamn
Oh
thing.
man, as if you want a fucking spider hanging over your back door, like fuck that. That's just stupid.
Well, and your guys' spiders out there in Australia are nothing to fuck with compared to the U.S. spiders. We have like one or two bad ones. You guys have a fucking full army of spiders out there that could fuck you up.
Yeah, I mean Teddy wasn't a bad one. He was just a garden spider, but he was big enough to be a fucking to be a black spider. That yeah, I just don't like spiders. Just fuck them all.
I'm not a fan of spiders either.
There's a stone Mexican in the chat, and he has a cousin named Spider. Why is that not surprising?
Cousin named Spider.
Ole, Spider, where you been, Holmes?
Like he's had on his birth certificate. He's had his name. Surely that's not his name. That's his nickname.
That's his nickname, I guarantee you. I knew a few spiders when I was growing up because I grew up in an area that was heavy in like black and Hispanic gangs. And I never ran into any crazy shit, but there were some people who went by their nicknames, and you get the Jokers and the Spiders. It's just like, oh, what's up, baby Joker?
Oh, we have an answer from Stone Mexican guy. For 199, hard shell tacos aren't tacos. And then he's no names on, so I'm like, okay.
Look, I'm not biased. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not disputing it, but I mean, I always thought that hard shell tacos were the original tacos and soft ones came later.
Yeah, honestly, even though I come from a Mexican family, I don't fucking care. A taco is a taco. I don't give a shit if it's an authentic taco, a street taco, Taco Bell taco. I'm gonna eat the fucking taco. It's as simple as that.
I tell you what I do have an appreciation for though is have you seen those hard shell tacos that have the flat bottom so that you can stand them up and they don't fall over? They're quality them. I do appreciate
awesome. Yes,
because then you can put the meat and whatever else in easily, and it just sits there.
It's not falling over on your plate and shit. You can put it down, and it's just a lot more handy.
It's the white man taco, man. We come up with ingenious ways to fix things.
Yeah.
I don't betray La Raza, motherfucker. I am a part of two cultures. The white side just so happens to, outshine the Mexican side. Just saying.
So, Bearing, have you seen the stuff going on with the Boy Scouts?
Yeah, I have. I watched. I watched Creator's video on it. That's ridiculous. I mean, aren't the Girl Scouts a thing? I mean, they're not closing down the Girl Scouts, are they?
No, and it's because the Girl Scouts leadership is, I don't know, the reason why so many parents want to take their girls over to the Boy Scouts because they actually teach them skills, and it's not overly filled with progressive left garbage and feminist like stuff. And so parents are trying to get their daughters into Boy Scouts because they actually teach them real world skills, survival, stuff like that. But I don't know.
So why don't they just teach them that in the Girl Scouts? I mean,
exactly. Or they change their mentality. But I don't know. The Boy Scouts basically pandered, and we'll see if, I don't know, my biggest fear is that you're going to have the Boy Scouts become the Girl Scouts in the sense of their leadership and their, toxic ideas of we can't send girls out into nature is going to spill over.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It'll end up limiting what the boys can do.
Yeah, and honestly, I think taking away all these spaces for boys is going to be backfiring. You're going to have a lot more boys who don't know how to, do traditional male things. I mean, they're going to kill toxic. They're going to kill masculinity and all rights by removing any space where a boy can be a boy.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the short term, at least. I mean, surely scout halls and infrastructure and shit is, there's a limit to it. There's only so much already in place type thing. So if you're giving positions away that would have gone to boys to girls, then there will be boys that miss out. And as I said, at least in the short term, but that's not good.
Yeah, I even saw an article from somebody. I think it was one of our followers. They tagged me and a bunch of other people in this so-called article. It might be fake, but apparently the Girl Scouts have taken a stance on this and said that they're not going to allow boys into their ranks.
Well, that's just sexist.
Right? I called them uninclusive jerks. That was my response.
Yeah, they want to force the girls into the Boy Scouts, but if boys want to be Girl Scouts, nope, you can't sell our fucking cookies.
Yeah, no.
Think of all the little faggoty boys that won't get a fucking spot in the fucking Girl Scouts.
Man, I can't wear those fabulous skirts with those horrible green shirts. Damn you! It's terrible. I want to be fabulous too and sell cookies. God, it's so fucking cringy though, because like it makes you think, what's next? We've got wrestling is being integrated into pure equality amongst the sexes because they just had their first ever Royal Rumble, all female Royal Rumble. They've got their female division that has now 2 titles for each show. It's just like, okay, so wrestling is integrating into this. The Boy Scouts of America are now integrating into this, and they're going to drop the B of BSA. What's next? Like, are these chicks going to try to actually become fucking trash men? Are they going to try to actually become like the female oil drillers? No, because it's too dangerous.
Well, what's next is, and it's a fucking scary prospect, but we've already seen calls for it here. There's some people that are trying to sort of eliminate the idea of gender and gender roles. I mean, we had some fucking idiot senator here. I did a video on it a few months ago, but she sort of publicly stated that in our rugby league, which if you know what rugby is, it's like gridiron but without the pads sort of thing.
Yeah.
She was actually saying, that it should be co-gender or both genders. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's going, oh, but women bring other qualities like leadership and fucking and just all this bullshit. It's like, you don't fucking. Leadership is not a thing when you need to smash through a couple of big burly cunts with a fucking ball in your hand. It's just not. They don't stop and appreciate your fucking leadership. You've got to be a tough cunt. It's as simple as that. You're going to get killed.
Yeah, and I wonder how many women, if they ever do integrate, are going to be out on year-long injuries after they get smashed by that big ass motherfucker.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing about that, if anything like that ever happens, it'll be fucking entertaining for about a week. Until they all get injured.
Eventually, this is all going to collapse on them, and they're not going to know what to fucking do.
No, and they're gonna go. Anything and everything is going to be, let's let women play American football in the NFL, and let's see how long that lasts.
Technically, they already do. The Lingerie Bowl is once a year, and it actually does host some of the hottest, most athletic women in lingerie. Mind you, the women were the ones who agreed to this shit years ago. Like, no one was forced to do this. They were like, yeah, no, I'll do this. It'll help promote my fucking Instagram if it was existed at the time.
They're not going up against guys, though. They're going up against other chicks, aren't they?
Yeah. It's purely just female versus female teams. It's just 2 teams, and that's all it is. It's not a series of games or anything like that. It's just one game out of the year, and it's the Lingerie Bowl. And, like, it kind of makes me think maybe we should have a women's league, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure those ladies who actually do that once a year are probably going to sit there and be like, I don't want to fucking do this for an entire season out of the year. Fuck your shit. Like, it's fun for one time, bro. One time. And I'm going to wear a thong while doing it. I'm not going to put the full gear on and really try to hurt these bitches on the other side of the fucking field. No, fuck you.
We got a super chat from Are You Wino? Girl Scouts are taught how to sell cookies. Boy Scouts are taught how to keep quiet after touching the Scoutmaster's penis.
Oh, there was a joke about that I couldn't stop laughing at. Somebody made with the Boy Scouts of America are now trying to integrate women or girls into the ranks, which most troop masters are now saying is a boner killer. I was just like, well, it's like the Catholic priests all over again. Damn it.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Scouts thing with Adam Sandler, where he did that skit on Saturday Night Live, and it was Alec Baldwin was a Scoutmaster.
I remember that.
I don't think I saw that. What was the gist of that?
Oh man. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna fucking put.
Yeah, you pull it up.
Link. Yeah, I'll pull it up. Put in the side link because we don't got OBS. Yeah. But yeah, it was Canteen Boy. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know how much of that goes on, but you have to think of it like this: is if Scouts wanted to be inclusive, why didn't they just make a third that anyone could join and follow the Boy Scouts rules and what they do and make it for everyone? And then have Boy Scouts for the boys who want to just, be in with other boys and get to, experience growing
what's going on? What's popped up? What's caught your eye?
Oh, someone said it's pronounced rhino.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Rhino, but I don't know why he did it like that. But yeah, that's Rhino on Twitter.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's because that is an actual old school spelling of how R sounding words were in like Scandinavia and shit like that. Like we call them wyverns, but they're actually supposed to be pronounced wren. I'm not even fucking kidding you on that.
Really?
Yes. They're spelt like they should say wyvern. Like you're supposed to say wyvern or wyvern with them, but it's actually supposed to be pronounced wren. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I used to blame the French all the fucking time for having long ass words for something that has a syllable or two syllables in it because they just throw letters in fucking for no goddamn reason. But now I'm starting to notice, I know the Norse people did it too. Fuck you guys. Language sucks. I'm just gonna say it right now. Language sucks. I fucking hate language sometimes, but I also love it.
I don't know. Someone's asking if Bearing will moan if he super chats. I think that's on Baracus and the people who are on the show, not the guest guys. Come on.
Yeah,
we like moan. Why would I moan?
Because it's a thing on the cunt stream. Whenever we get a super chat, Samaj is supposed to moan, and then eventually I got told to moan.
I'm not doing that.
So have you thought about coming back to Twitter? Because I think a lot of people in here are asking if you'll come back. I know it's a shit show, but
Yeah, I've thought about it, man. But they're fucking good at tracking your Twitter. Like, but my cousin made that account that time, and he got kicked off or something. Yeah. But I've got to. My cousin has to like change like the device he uses and all that sort of shit. Like, apparently there's something called a fucking, what was it called? A Mac code or something, a Mac address or something.
Yeah, a Mac address. It's your device ID.
Yeah. So yeah, like because I'm using my cousin used a VPN and shit, and so that's
your cousin.
Not even enough. Yeah, my cousin. That's not enough to sort of fool them, kind of thing. My cousin had a different phone number and all that, so it was. I thought my cousin had covered all bases, but apparently he hadn't.
Oh man, yeah, and I think that they're hitting anyone now, and it's especially if you get back on there and Mike or Fisty figures out that you're back, they're just gonna go after you again.
Mm.
But that's probably why she's not as hard on for you, because of the fact that you're not around Twitter anymore and she can't really reach out to you except for if she actually wants to make a video.
Oh no, trust me. If she wants to, she will bring him up. She does it any fucking chance she gets. It just so happens that if she's going after her favorite targets like Sargon, Bering, or Dankula, she only specifically targets that individual. But I have seen her in entire threads bring up Bering. No one else brought him up, but she will bring up Bering, and it's just it's really fucking creepy.
Yeah, it is. I agree. I agree. And I've seen a lot of streams where she'll be talking to Kevin Logan or someone, and they're having a conversation, and she just like you hear her trying to steer the conversation. Like she'll drop these little things and try to steer the conversation so like they bring me up or they bring Sargon up, and she's like, "Oh, you want to talk about that? Oh, okay." But she's just fucking. She's not very covert about it.
Yeah, she I don't know. She's like what would you call it? It's basically a one-track mind, but it actually does have technically multiple tracks. It only goes one way though. I hate this person, thus they will forever be a scumbag to me no matter what.
You know what has always fucking baffled me is this bitch is a fucking doctor. She's a doctor. Some cunt employs her as a doctor. Like, how do you put so much thought and just sort of fucking hate and shit into someone, you know, and just, you know, trying to get them kicked off this website and just the amount of attention that she gives to people that she seriously hates online must distract her from her job. Like, surely she's not doing well at her job.
Well, I want to know what her job is. Is she a psychologist or?
No, she's a fucking she's a fucking political scientist. So she studies elections or something.
Wow.
What? Yeah. So she has a PhD. She had like, oh god, dude, and she calls herself doctor.
She claims she does. You know what the funniest fucking thing is, right? I found this probably a month before I got kicked off Twitter with my main account, and I just kept posting it at her because it fucking pissed her off so much. Where she made this video just before the 2016 election, where she in the most smug way you can imagine, she goes, "I just want to say the race is over and congratulations, Madam President." Her fucking job. She's got a political science fucking degree or doctorate or whatever the fuck she's got, and she works studying, you know, election, like predicting elections and shit, and she's congratulating Hillary Clinton. What a fucking idiot. it was awesome. It's fucking so good. If you ever want to piss her off, just throw that at her. She hates it.
Oh, I'm blocked by her and Mike, so
I'm not blocked by her, but she is doing a damn good job of ignoring me anytime I quote tweet her or fucking respond to one of her tweet threads and shit. She has responded once, just one time, and it was to repeat stupidity. That was it.
Did you? Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, she would have called you a moron or fucking, you know, you're dumb or something. She's good at that. She throws insults around so like more than almost anyone I know, but they're just not, you know, fuckwit or cunt or anything. You're stupid, you know, you don't know how to think. It's just like these sort of biting, fucking degrading you. You're dumb, you know, you're feeble-minded, that sort of shit. It's just pathetic.
Yeah, it's like watching a 5-year-old trying to be the tough guy on the school grounds, and he's just like, "Well, you're a duty face." Sure, I guess. I don't. That was not your mom is fucking hates you. There you go.
Mom gay.
Your mom's gay.
No, I got into a conversation with Mike about something, and he's like, a day later, he's like, "Oh, you're not that bad. You don't have that bad of views." And then like he said something, and I went back at him again, and he's like, "Just after I gave you a compliment." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I remember that. That was funny. Yeah.
He fucking, and that got me my suspension was right around that time when I was challenging an autistic person apparently, and some white knight came in and said, you shouldn't hold him to the same standards you hold everyone else. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck if he's autistic. If he's an asshole, I'm going to call him out. And that's me treating him better than you're wanting me to treat him, which is like he's special needs or something. And that got me banned off Twitter for 7 days.
What is that about? Like, why do people get such a hang up on, like, you know, oh, this person's not all there? Yeah, but they sure as fuck want to go on social media like they are. I'm sorry, but if you're autistic, stay the fuck offline with any kind of internet drama if you're gonna fucking say some dumbass shit, because I'm gonna call you out for some dumbass shit. Like, not too long ago, I actually got into a fucking Twitter argument with some chick who calls herself Bully Hunter as fuck. Obviously as a joke. But she was pretty much trying to accuse Kumite of some stupid ass or the Kumite viewers, the Kumite fans, for some stupid ass shit, and also at the same time accusing Sinatra of some crazy shit. So I eventually jumped in just to fucking say a couple of things, and she just kept responding to me. So I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Fine. So I just kept poking at her. And eventually, at some point, because her fucking grammar is atrocious, like she really does type out like as if she's one of those fucking foreigners, like your mom gay and shit like that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I do a thing that I do to everyone. If you send multiple fucking messages towards me, and it looks like you don't know how to speak English well, even if you do speak English, I will insult you by saying, English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Learn how to English, something along those lines. I do it to everyone. I don't give a fuck if you actually are foreign or if you're from fucking America, if your native language is English. I don't fucking care. If it looks like you just sound like a retard in your responses, I'm going to say something like that. And she got super goddamn triggered with it because apparently it's something that everybody brings up with her. And I'm just like, I don't fucking care, cunt. Fuck off.
Yeah, maybe at that point, if people are bringing it up about you, you might want to, you know, work on it or get like spell check on your phone or something.
Well, apparently she knows 5 different languages. English is her 3rd language. German is like her 1st or 2nd language, something along those lines. And she started fucking responding to me, talking all kinds of shit in German on Twitter. I'm like, you do know that Google Translate is automatically linked to this, right? Like, dumb, I can translate this. What the fuck's wrong with you?
What, Brockus? What's going on? Why are you pissing off Lo-Fi?
Oh,
I'm not pissing Lo-Fi off, but she does talk shit on me on stream sometimes using fucking German, and it's just like, you bitch.
Do we have German listeners? Is she actually like talking in code to Germans?
Sometimes.
she's trying to build the Reich, you know it, so probably.
It's
I thought
Lo-Fi,
Schmeckel was just joking about that. I didn't know that was really a thing.
She's from Denmark, bro. What the fuck do you think? Like, nobody suspects the Danes for long. And then we have fucking an army of Beowulfs coming out of nowhere, and we don't know what to do anymore.
For fuck's sakes.
Yeah, and then you have like, so in a video I made talking about the Mike stuff and what was going on between all these other people, I have people getting pissed off at me because I didn't know Mike was from New Zealand. To me, all the accents, all the talking of around the world, if you sound like one iconic area. So I had a bunch of people ripping into me on my YouTube for calling Mike Australian. And fucking, dude, so many people were pissed off at me. They're like, maybe if you like bearing, you might want to figure out where the fuck Mike's from. All right.
That's offensive to Australian bears, you son of a bitch. How dare you?
Yeah, it is.
No, actually, Mikey even has gone to Twitter a few times. Again, I am blocked by Mikey. Don't know what I said or did to actually get blocked by him. I don't fucking care, honestly. But every once in a while, because I will comment saying, like, I can't see this because I'm blocked, somebody will screenshot it because they're not blocked, and I'll read it. And not too long ago, he tried to say, he's actually not from New Zealand. I'm like, you're not a guy. You're not from New Zealand. What the fuck are we supposed to think of you now? I don't understand this, you ginger cunt.
Where did he reckon he was from?
He didn't say. It's the same thing as I'm not a man. He didn't actually specify what he was, so we automatically have to go to the default. Well, you're a woman then. And he's not from New Zealand, so I'm not sure what the default there would be. Like, okay, so are you actually Australian?
Yeah, but he said,
Now-
but if when I called him a fucking, what did I say? I said, oh, someone's a grumpy girl or something. And he said, I'm not a man. I said, oh, someone's a grumpy girl today or something. He's like, I'm not a woman either. Fucking Jesus,
I'm an envy.
Yeah, an envy. Did you see during that exchange as well? He made this comment. You know that whole you can't punch down type thing. He takes that to such an extreme that he actually said one time that it is impossible for me and Christy and my friends to harass Bering because Bering has more power than us.
No,
Yep.
that's
That was in the conversation with me. He's like,
was it?
he was like, oh, and I'm like, you guys keep making videos about him. Maybe if you stopped, his followers wouldn't get pissed off at you and come at you. And they're like, well, he's bigger than us. No shit. Maybe be smarter and don't punch at the guy who has 400,000 people who like his shit. And then they won't come at you. He's not actually saying, hey guys, in secret back rooms on Discord, hey guys, go attack Music Man Mike now. It's like fucking idiots.
I'm not issuing orders here. I don't think many of them are pissed off. I think that most of my audience just like to see, that old dumpster fire. So it's just about rousing people up.
Well, that and their idea of what is targeted attacks could be just people going into their threads and saying, "Hey, how you doing?" or "Bering sent me here." It's like, come on, dude. Like, if that's a personal attack, like Bunty ran into the same shit. He sent on Twitter, his first ban was because he sent people to give a guy who was being a shithead to Bunty, and he's like, "Dude, I think you're having a bad day. Here, let me give you a hug." And then he's in a text or on a tweet, he said, anyone who wants to go give this guy a hug, he's having a bad day. And he got banned for targeted harassment.
Yet at the same time, someone like Christy can literally tweet, please report this account, and that's not targeted harassment.
Well, actually, Bering, didn't you try that one time? Just to have like a positive crew going around saying nothing but nice things to people.
Please. But no, not really. Because I didn't specify anyone. I didn't say go and pay compliments to this person. All I said was go and pay compliments to people. Basically.
That could be code for harassment or something. Maybe you're just speaking in tongues to your acolytes, to your minions.
Yeah. Fucking Nazis and their dog whistling.
Well, we all know that there's not YouTubers, but gang leaders or something. We all know you're a leader of some sort. Come on. You're hiding behind some sort of cute cartoon thing, but we know you're some sort of furry alt, right?
Yeah, I'm a fucking leader of the Aryan Brotherhood. I go buy a fuzzy cartoon bear online. It's just my thing.
Because bears are big and masculine.
Well, yeah, and the only reason like Christy hates you at all is because she's jealous that you're already taken. It's the only reason.
It's funny you say that because for the longest time she's never blocked me. She never blocked me on Twitter or anything, but she always blocked Sugar Tits, which is fucking weird.
Oh, all to herself.
There was another YouTuber who actually made a fucking clear and obvious joke video, and she calls herself Fisty Splinters, by the way. But she made a video actually confirming, air quotes, confirming that she has an obsession with Bering because she's jealous of Sugar Tits and Bering's already taken and all that stuff. It was a joke. It was just a fucking joke. She never got touched by Christy and her friends.
That's Babbling Brook. Yeah, she's funny as fuck.
Oh yeah. And so but she never got touched by any of Christy and her crew and stuff like that. They never said anything about it. They just left it alone. But Bering is the one who's perpetrating the sexual harassment of Fisty Split. I'm like, she's the one who's doing the joke. Like, I think she might have even started it. Who knows?
Well, we all know that obviously this person is connected to you because we all know that you're in on the joke. This is one of your fucking followers, isn't it?
Well, actually, that one is, yeah.
We're not supposed to admit that live on stream.
I kind of wasn't on that one.
Well, Brooke's done a voice for you, right?
What's
on
that?
one of your videos? Hasn't Brooke done a voice on one of your videos for you?
Yeah. She's done a few things on my channel. She's a good girl, bro.
Yeah, she did her Christy voice because
Oh, she does that fisty character so well. She makes you shudder. She's just an absolute psychopath. But she does it so well.
The fucked up part is at first glance, I legit thought it actually was Christy. Just because like I wasn't I turned it on, I clicked on the video and I was just like, what is this? And then I actually thought it was Christy for a second there. I was like, is this no, okay, it's not her. Wow.
Well, that's the thing. She sort of does it so deadpan at the start that it fucking could be. It's sort of not until the end that she starts like when she like hugs her teddy bear and then calls it bearing and shit. It's not until she does that sort of shit that you go, oh, something's going on here. But she does the part very well.
Oh man. Okay, so Mark is in the chat and he really wants to know if you and Tim are good buddies now.
No, we're not at all. Tim fucking hates me. Right, but I actually like Tim. Like I'll watch a Tim video when he releases one. I actually find him pretty funny, but he fucking hates me. He really does. He hates me.
I always never got that. I still do not understand it because like when Tim got suspended on Twitter that first time, you were the one who started the hashtag free Tim Blake fucking thing. And like you were the one who pretty much like forwarded it. You even reached your hand out and said like, if you need any help, man, just let me know, all that shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I started it, but yeah, I certainly did give it a push.
Yeah, but like so many people actually were basically involved in it. Jeff Holiday, Memory Holiday, Armored Skeptic, Shoe on Head. He thinks all of these people, but tells you to go fuck yourself.
I think it was thank all these people, but Bearing can still suck my dick or something.
And I'm just like, that is a fucking hate right there. That's like you're thinking all these people that will critique your shit and actually talk shit on you and all that stuff. But no, they're cool. They're fine. They're all right people. But that Australian motherfucker over there, oh!
But that was fucking funny. That's one of my favorite things about Tim is how much he hates me. That's one of the things I like admire about him. Like because I can like it's like how I put like I use that fucking dripping with autism clip so much. I've got all these clips cut out of his videos that are just like perfect for different situations. And I use them because I know it fucking pisses him off so fucking much. It pisses him off so much. And
the dripping with autism one is just fucking so good, dude.
Yeah. That they're all from the one video. He made a video in response to Bearing Cab where he's playing like a parody of like what he thinks a shitlord is, like a Sargon or me or something. And you're fucking autistic, you're fucking retarded, man. You deserve to be bullied. And it's just a gold mine of quotes. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Dripping with autism is quite possibly the best quote of that entire video. But yeah, no, I think his hatred of you pretty much got me watching him too. I was just like, it's funny.
Well, the thing is, it's really handy because like there's so much that I can do with his videos and that I can use his words that will just piss him off so much. But he's got no way to get me back. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with my video. He can do whatever he wants. I'll probably laugh at it. It won't piss me off at all. That's part of the beauty of Tim. That's the attraction.
Yeah. Oh, we got another super chat from Billy Senpai for $5. Samaj, you need to draw from Yogi Bear looking like a Nazi for Bearing.
Wait, Yogi Bear looking like a Nazi?
Yes, you need to draw a Bearing fucking avatar, basically dressed up like Yogi Bear as a Nazi. Nazi bear.
Nazi Yogi. Okay.
And someone wants Bearing to send an Australian woman, that'd be Trippy Poop, preferably in a refrigerator box directly to his front door.
Now that brings up an interesting question. Do you have mail order brides over in Australia?
Do we?
No, they obviously don't, because have you seen some of the Australian women there? Some of them are fucking hot.
Some of them
are fucking ugly too, though. I mean, we've got some ugly women.
Well, you have to remember, I mean, Australia is where the Brits toss their criminals. So obviously there's going to be like an ugly one there.
Yeah,
but we got uggos here too, you know.
There's a pretty much there is no continent you can go to that will not have ugly chicks on it. That's just a thing.
I
Everywhere
don't know,
there's
like
like a hot chick and an ugly chick.
I think Sweden's got a like predominant amount of hotter than, you know, in the
that's
sense
probably
that they're
true.
more fit.
Yeah, but now they're being like bred out by the Islamic rapists over there, so I don't know about that anymore. They're gonna probably have some really fucked up looking kids in the future.
Yeah, the rape gangs over there, you know. Even Sweden needs to get their shit figured out.
Dude, Sweden, Germany, and a bunch of other countries over in Europe need to get their shit together, because when you've established there are literal no-go zones at any point in the day, daylight, nighttime, it doesn't matter. If you have no-go zones, because you will be, there's not a high possibility, there's not a chance, you will be either raped or murdered or both, or just plain assaulted in any of that. When you have that, that's when you've got to take a second look and go, maybe close the border.
Yeah, seriously. Bering, did you know Garrett is back? I guess his anarcho-communism didn't work out.
What did he actually try to go live in a commune or something?
I
Did he do
don't. I have no clue. Someone was asking that. He was mad because we only read the wrenches, but I'm like, dude, I just didn't see you. Calm down, John Doe. That's right. Everyone make fun of Joe.
I did see Garrett in a stream recently, and I think like with the way that he's done his fucking hair and shit and the general mannerisms, I think he's trying to be trans. I think he's trying to be a chick. I think Garrett is now a chick, which is fucking hilarious because he's a fucking ugly chick.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well,
what
we
makes
have
more sense to me is the cartoons that Byro has made on Garrett.
What do we? Hang on. Has he done any recent? Has he done recent ones, or are you talking the what was it? Virtue. Was it Virtue Signal Boy or something?
I think it was just the Virtue Signaler or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm referring to those videos because, like, I saw a stream from Galactic Bubble Productions again recently, and I was just like, God, he needs to get back to making those fucking Virtue Signaler jokes.
Oh fuck, he does some funny shit. That guy. I was speaking to him the other day. Actually, he recently got a copyright strike on his channel from some feminist.
Oh Christ! Of course he did. Everybody's getting a fucking a strike nowadays because no one knows how to just chill the fuck out.
Well, did he actually get a strike or did he just get a claim?
No, he got a DMCA takedown. So the video was taken down. He's got to file a counterclaim to file it.
So how does that even go about with the DMCA? Because like me being so new, I've gotten so many claims on my content, and I've had to push into second appeals against places like fucking Fox, who, you know, challenge me using a piece of their copyright.
Oh, so that's what you're getting there is called a content ID claim. So that's where you'll use a clip or something that belongs to a company, or usually a company, and they've got it registered on the content ID database, YouTube's database. And so if it detects that anyone else uses it, it goes, you're allowed to use it, but we're going to monetize your video and take the money. So a DMCA copyright claim is one step further than that. It's a you know, we want your material off your channel. Fuck it off, or yeah, it's taken down. And then if you want to contest it, you've actually got to you know fill out a legal document and do the full counterclaim.
Oh, okay, so that's where the whole Matt heaviness came from, with Matt going after Cog and shit, even though Cog was dumb for what he did, but Matt being the big pussy and basically costing him a strike for 3 months.
Yeah, that was a DMCA takedown. Yeah, that confused me. That, I mean, if Matt can only take the strike back. I mean, the claim back and the strike should be removed. But I mean, there's no, he can't half do it. He can't do it a little bit. He either does or he doesn't. And it says that he has done it. So when Cog said that it was still on his account, I sort of thought, well, yeah, it's probably just one of those things that YouTube, you know, that might take a few days or something to process it or something. So it'd be interesting to see if it's still there, because I don't think it'll stay on for, well, it won't stay on for a couple of months if Matt's withdrawn it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that he had withdrawn it, but like I haven't gotten into that shit where I'll use people's content, or if it's someone I know like you or someone else, I'll ask before, and I haven't ran into any issues, and I'm just, make sure I, use it hella fair use.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about fucking just don't be too ridiculous with how much you put in, and make sure it's transformative.
Yeah, but even then, like, even if you do the transformative thing, there are still going to be those salty ass motherfuckers out there that are like, "How fucking dare you? I'm going to DMCA strike your ass."
Yeah,
but still.
But with those people, I mean, like if they're super ridiculous, then if you counterclaim them back, then what's got to happen is they've got basically 2 weeks or something to show to YouTube that they've served you, that they're suing you basically. So it becomes a big hassle for them. So for it to eventuate in your video permanently being taken down, they've got to go to some fucking effort if you're willing to counter.
Oh shit, Cog just jumped in. It's still there. Fair use archive reason copyright takedown request by Matt Jarbo on April 27th, expires on July 26th.
So Cog, does it actually say, like, that might be listed in your copyright claims section, but does it in your community section, I think it is, does it actually say that you've got 1 strike, or does it say you've got no strikes?
Yeah, because I mean that could be just pushed through, but I don't know, man. I think people just have to start being more careful if they're going to go after people that are, overly sensitive. You gotta fuck with their content enough to the extreme where you're not going to get shit on for using it.
He still has a strike. That's weird. That's really weird, man. That shouldn't be the case. You should get in touch with YouTube about that.
Oh, it says removed by Matt, expires July 26th.
So but does it actually say that, like, Cog, does it actually say that you have a strike, or is it just listed there? Is the takedown notice just listed there? Because that will still say expires on such and such a date, but there's a part where it actually tallies your strikes.
Yeah, it's under the section where it'll have the breakdown of your community or your channel status.
Yeah, Cog, we're not interested in the part that lists Matt's name. It won't be a section that lists who it's by or what it was for or anything. It'll just be like, how many strikes does your channel have?
Does someone want to send them a link?
Yeah, I'm actually on it right now.
Okay, cool.
And let me.
It'll be a lot easier to talk.
Yeah.
I'll find the bit where it's. Is it?
But I don't know, man. I've been thinking about all this stuff this week and trying to figure out what we were gonna, jump on, and it just like all this shit started falling in the laps with the Matt stuff and like, all the other things we've been talking about tonight. It's like the world's giving and giving and giving massive amounts of shit to talk about.
Yeah, what the hell is going on with Matt? I mean, this is kind of his behavior has kind of been, kind of beneath him. Shouldn't he know by now to just fight the arguments, not go after the person's livelihood? Like, people live off of streams these days. So I don't know if Cog does or not, but
I think the fame, because Matt has always been one of those guys that flew under a lot of radars in the past, but lately he's just gotten like more attention and all that stuff. It's primarily negative attention, but still he's gotten way more attention. So now I don't know. He's probably just being a douche because he doesn't understand that he's being a douche.
Well, I'm sort of thinking that he knows perfectly well this is stupid. He perfectly knows that this is going to get him in trouble and all that stuff and negative attention. I think he wants it so that way he's relevant again.
Probably.
And I think that's kind of a sad thing to be in a situation like that. Hey, Cog, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. I just thought I'd come on here to be quickly and brief. I've got shit to do. So yeah, if I go to actual my status and features and stuff, it still says I've got on my copyright status. It still says I've got like the 3rd level up. It's not on the 4th one with the big smiley
Oh,
face.
right.
It still
Yeah,
says
fair
I've still
enough.
got 1 copyright strike.
Yeah, get
but
in touch with YouTube about that, because that should be removed. If he's
well,
if
that's
he's
what it says.
withdrawn-
It says removed by. So it's acknowledged that it's removed by him, but it says it'll expire. My strike will still expire on 26th of July. So
Maybe
Have you-
YouTube just hasn't pushed it out yet.
I don't know. Getting in contact with YouTube, how the fuck I can barely contact them for anything. Sure, a trusted flagger maybe, but I've got to get back on Twitter. So that's another thing. So yeah,
have you still got all your features? Like, are all the features below that still great?
yeah, everything's okay. It's when you have a community guideline strike, I think it affects your live streaming, but and your upload thingy. But I think when it's copyright, it's different. It must be or something. I don't know.
Yeah, see, look, I could be wrong, but I seem to remember copyright strikes affecting that too. But maybe
Me
it
too,
takes
because
longer to affect
I've had that happen to me before. I had this happen to me ages ago, where I had it like something. I think I pissed off AIU or something like that, and I got flagged, and then and that was it. And I had a whole like time. It wasn't AIU, but it was just people I'm guessing who were fans of his or something like that at the time.
Yeah.
And like I say, I got flagged, and I didn't have streaming and I couldn't have uploads of over 15 minutes and stuff like that for 3 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
John Mountain just jumped in the chat, and apparently he's a fan of yours, Bearing.
Hi, John.
It's Malin, you fuck, but yeah, no.
Whatever language. Remember, you don't pronounce wyvern correctly, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't give a
But
shit
guys,
about that.
I just wanted to jump in to just correct the record and say what was going on with that.
So I
literally
will
clicked
ask you
on it
one
and
question, Cog.
Um,
Will you forward, like, not just like mirror it? Are you gonna like chop it up, or if you're gonna try to archive things?
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. When it came, like I've done archives before that have been I suppose they've gone through the people have flagged them to an extent, I'd guess, because they've flagged other videos that weren't as cut up and changed as mine. But I suppose this is the thing with Matt's being the actual copyright owner to it. I think it's one of those things where he can fuck it definitely. And people are like, why did you cut it up? Because it's not the first time people have claimed that Matt's flagged this shit. It's not the first time that Matt's oh, I did flag it, but it wasn't me who got it removed. He said this on his Twitter. You can go and see it. So it's one of those things. The fact that he's done this, I kind of expected it to happen from a point of view. I realized I was wrong. I realized that but at the same time, I see Matt as a person right now who's taking advantage of a system that he consistently bitches about being broke.
Yeah.
Hey, Cog. Look,
Yeah.
while I think you probably did push your luck with that upload.
Yeah, no,
if you really wanted to be a cunt, you know what you could do, right? Every single video you ever want to archive in the future, cut it up and transform it just by inserting a 10-second clip of Matt crying in it, like every one of them.
Well, I don't know. I could technically do that with his archive and make him cry every 10 seconds or something. But then again, the last time that happened, the person got. In fact, someone did the archive, but they did it with criticism, just going, "Here's my criticism, Matt. You're a fat cunt," right? And he did that every fucking every 28 seconds or something, and it got flagged for bullying and harassment.
Nice.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's happened too.
Well,
But like I
have,
say, guys, I'm gonna
gotta-
get off. I've got shit to do, but it was good having a chat with you. I'll talk to you guys later.
Take care.
Take it easy, Cog. I gotta say I am kind of looking forward to the Schmeckel video that he said he was probably gonna do, where he actually recorded himself saying "you're a dumb cunt," and he's gonna take the exact same video and do exactly what Cog just said, where every 3 seconds he just clips himself saying "you're a dumb cunt" in it.
Is he?
Yeah,
Why is he going to do that? What for?
To make a stance to basically point out that like Matt's just being a fucking spurgy little dumb cunt.
Oh, right.
But he wants it to be transformative.
Mhm.
I did it to one of Anon's videos just to fuck with her, because she said it was okay for Schmeckel and us to do it to her videos. So
Fair enough. Oh, that's right. He was going to do it to Anon, not Matt. He was just going to do it to Anon. I remember that.
yeah, it was like her 30-minute long video. He was just gonna insert it every so often.
Shit.
So we had John on actually not too long ago. Bearing, do you follow comic books at all?
No.
No? Oh, no. Well, John actually has this thing going with Diversity in Comics, where they've basically decided to do their own graphic novel called Jawbreakers, Lost Souls, I believe it is. And dude, this thing is gaining so much traction right now. It's over 120K with money right now, with like over 3K backers. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, shit. Well, and so what? It's going to be a series of comics or something.
Yeah, an independent, like big book, right? It's going to be an actual graphic novel, not like a softbound.
Yeah. They have both the hard copy, the physical copy, but they also have digital printings of it that they've been advertising with and stuff. I think they will even offer a digital copy for those who would rather just have a digital copy, but it's essentially like 100-page or more long graphic novel. And it's essentially like what I actually like about it is it's kind of like a pro from comic books and an amateur who loves comic books and a few other pros coming together and basically like taking a stance and saying, we're not going to take your corporate bullshit anymore, Marvel or DC. We're not going to fucking like just let you stomp all over the fans and talk all kinds of shit on us anymore. We're just going to give the people what they want, and the people have spoken.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Samaj, are you doing Yogi Bearing? Is that Yogi?
I believe it is.
What makes you think I'm doing it? What?
Because you
I'm
have it
just
on
doing
your
what the
screen.
fans asked. What are you talking about?
Is that going to be that's going to be his Nazi band, isn't it?
You guys are assuming some awful things about me. What are you talking about?
We're gonna go to the juice and steal all their picnic baskets, and maybe, I don't know, put them in a chamber of some sort.
Oh my god. So one of my buddies who watches this stream pretty regular and watches my stuff, Bearing wanted you to call him a cunt. His name's he goes by Sicko on all his shit. So if you could toss that at that asshole.
What do you want to do? You want to call people cunts now? What?
Yeah, come on, man. You call everyone a cunt. It's all good.
What's his Sicko? You're a cunt, Sicko. Is that right?
that works. That works. Because he's all, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then, you finally got back in touch and I was like, oh, I'm going to have Bearing come on. And he's like, oh, you got to get him to call me a cunt finally. All right, cool.
You could have done it. You could have like fucking played that shit in an organic way. You could have like sort of somehow shaped and molded the conversation so it came out naturally. Yeah.
Fuck it. I would rather just go straight forward and get on to the real conversation.
Can you call my mate a cunt?
Hey, it's easier.
Yeah,
oh, look. Smeckle's getting deep in there. You're becoming the real Yogi Nazi there.
Yeah, oh, Jesus Christ. Look at that. That's funny as.
I don't know. Didn't someone give like a super chat asking for this? So henceforth, why I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey, will you post it? Will you post that somewhere, Simone?
Tag Christy Winters.
Oh my God, no! You know what? This kind of shit can get me in trouble. I'll just send it to you in DMs or something there, Bearing, and you can post it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with this.
No, that's what I was getting at. I'll chuck it in a fucking video or something. Can you like you fucking because I don't have Twitter anymore. Just like Skype it to me or email it or something.
I'll send it to you, my dude. It'll be fine.
You know. All right, I gotta fuck off anyway. I've got a few things to do. It's been lovely chatting.
Yeah, man, it was fun.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Bearing.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Right.
Take it easy, man.
Take care.
I love how you're trying to say I have nothing to do with this, and then like there's going to be a 2-hour stream of the evidence.
Drawing
it different, Samaj. You clipping everything together there.
No, but
I disavow.
You disavow your own drawing. Okay, you're actually streaming someone else drawing this, correct? This is someone else's live stream that you're just watching, right? No, Samaj is distracted. So no, I really like that guy. He's the one who's helped me a lot. Him and Schmeckel. Like Bearing is the one who actually got me over here and like had Schmeckel take a look at some of my stuff and have me, come on the live stream the first time.
Yeah, Bering actually kind of helped a little bit of a push for Help for the Guildless too. Him and Sugar Tits kind of stumbled upon Help for the Guildless. I want to say late 2016, and then Bering promoted one of his videos where he basically clipped a couple of bears in like the wild, like people were driving through this area or whatever, and these two bears were like really super curious about the people in the car. Didn't maul them or attack them or anything like that, but like Antoine was just making a little thing saying like, this is proof that Bering is a bully. Like look at the disgusting humor where he walks up to the car and asks for food. That piece of shit. It was funny because it was satirical and everything, and I thought it was kind of cool because he gave a little bit of a push for Help for the Guildless. And then on our third stream, I surprised everybody by bringing Fat Pat onto the stream. And Fat Pat apparently saw that Bering was in the stream and sent the link over to him as well. Or maybe Antoine did. I don't know. But like then Bering showed up on Help for the Guildless's third fucking proper villains. And so again, a little bit more of a push and shit. So Bering pretty much helped a tiny guy get noticed. It was really cool.
Yeah, he seems out of all of the people who interact with smaller creators at his level, he seems to be one of the most interactive. It's interesting to watch that he's willing to jump into smaller streams and help guys out when he has the time. Whereas you can reach out to some of the other guys and they're not even willing to help out other creators.
Well, some people are willing to help out smaller creators, and then there are others who like they have such a massive fan following. Shit will slide under the radar far too often. Like Tonka, for example. People like to try to give Tonka all kinds of shit because they act like, you know, oh, you just fucking ignore my stuff. You only pay attention to your internet friends, stuff like that. I'm like, you guys need to chill the fuck out because I've actually interacted with Tonka multiple times on Twitter. The dude doesn't ignore anyone, really. He just gets so many fucking notifications that shit will just fly past him. And like, Tonka will promote smaller guys. He does it quite often. But at the same time, sometimes Tonka just doesn't feel like fucking promoting a bunch of people. He's just going to do his own shit. He's going to sit there with this fucking ice cream sandwich, talk to failure, make fun of some idiots on the internet, and that's it. That's so when people like throw a bitch fit about like certain big YouTubers ignoring smaller YouTubers, I'm just like, look, I think the only people that you could argue do shit like that would be like somebody like Armored Skeptic. Armored Skeptic ignores people on social media almost all the time. The only people he interacts with at this point are other big YouTubers, Shoe on Head, and then personal friends of his. That's it. Shoe on Head, kind of the same thing, except she will interact with people on Twitter. But like, I almost never see these people actually promoting smaller.
Is that
channels.
me? Or, oh, there you go. You broke up there for a second. You disappeared.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, at least on my end.
I've been having fucking goddamn internet connection problems from time to time, dude. Where'd you lose me?
Just the last bit about Armored Skeptic.
Oh yeah, well, our Armored Skeptic and Shoe on Head, they almost never really promote smaller channels and stuff, and like nothing really against them. I'm not trying to say go over and shit all over these two creators or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, for people like Armored Skeptic and Shoe on Head, that's not necessarily what their channels have been about. And I do think I have seen Shoe actually interact with smaller YouTubers or promote them a few times and stuff, but you almost never fucking see people like Armored Skeptic and Shoe on Head actually promote smaller channels and shit. If you really want if you want promotion from bigger YouTubers, you know, either get Bering's attention on your own. Do not email him all the fucking time and try to get, you know, Senpai to notice you and shit. Just do it organically. That's the best way to do it. Or I don't know, try to see if Nick and Jeff will promote you on YouTube Saints. There you go.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I came organically into his site, and you know, he reached out and was like, hey, like, you ever thought of doing live streams or anything with anyone to get your name out there? And I'm like, like, I don't really have the setup for it. And he's like, well, he's like, I have a few that you might be interested in. What up, Zell? And so that's how he came across my actual videos and actually subscribed to my YouTube channel and shit.
Yeah.
When I was at like 100 subscribers, you know?
Yeah, some people will only sub to the people they interacted with in like one way, shape, or form. Like Kadun, she will only acknowledge a person's name. It's a joke. She's a normie, so she really doesn't know anyone unless she's actually interacted with them in a stream. And the only people she interacts with in streams are typically Proper Villains, Cunt Stream, and the occasional times that she found out myself or Zell were on Kumite or Gulf City streaming. You know, she'll interact with those people, but that's because she's now familiar with them. Anyone else is like, again, it's just a joke, people. But anyone else, like, she will pretend she doesn't actually know their name because technically she doesn't really know who they are. She doesn't know what they do. Doesn't really matter. And then there's Zell. He'll fucking follow, interact with, he'll chat with just about fucking anybody, but he'll have his days where he's just like, fuck off, I don't want to chat with you.
So, what's Bearing's Twitter handle right now?
He's
doesn't have
dead.
one.
Oh, fuck. How am I going to get this to him then?
He has email or Skype. Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. All right.
Oh, you know Schmeckel's gonna want to turn that into a thumbnail.
I already sent it to him. He can turn it into a thumbnail if he wants.
Yeah, I just noticed DM.
Yeah. Did you guys see those in the U.S. the superintendent in New Jersey who was shitting on one of the school's track and field grounds?
Like actually taking a shit?
Yeah, it was the superintendent, and the teachers and the coaches would complain that they kept finding human shit on their track, and come to find out they, had someone, a security guard out there late at night, and at like 5 a.m., lo and behold, the superintendent comes out there and shits on the track and gets caught. And he just got caught today shitting on a field.
I bet he didn't superintend to get arrested.
End yourself.
I love how people will just randomly make a fucking pun, and there's always going to be that other person who's just like, and now you have to die.
So what's been going on, Zell?
Well, I had my 15 seconds on Ralph Retort. That was fun.
Oh, you actually got on?
Yeah, it was really, really short. He just does like really short call-ins.
Oh,
and
nice.
like expected, the chat hated me. It's just a process, Yeah.
The chat's always going to hate you until you show up far more often, dude. That's just how it's going to be.
It just depends. It's how the thing goes, It's people don't know me, so you just hop in and they're just like, "Go away, faggot," and
Yeah.
you just go, "Yeah."
Yeah, the Cunt Stream chat didn't like either of us when we first came onto the Cunt Stream, and then we started becoming regulars, and they were like, "Okay, we like these guys."
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. But did you hear about the disowning that's going on that happened?
What disowning?
Ice Poseidon disowned Baked Alaska. He got a hold of his alt-right videos and he said, "I'm done with you." on stream.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, so it's done. Baked has no one. Literally all the bridges are burnt. All he has is his meth.
I thought it was cocaine, but yeah, all right, meth. Well, now meth,
that was his last connection. Was Ice Poseidon. That was it. Him and his crew, and the Ice's manager is like, it's on a stream, so there's footage of it, and even the manager's like, "I'm sorry, dude. I don't vet anybody." So I didn't know. And they're like playing. Somebody sent them like a clip of Baked Alaska at the Charlottesville debacle, and like it's like accidentally like blasted, like the volume's like really high, and so you hear Ice Poseidon click the link, and then it just goes, "We're all gonna stand together. The Jews will not get rid of us." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, this guy. Yep, no, I don't want to be involved with a Nazi." Like he's just like, he's like, I can't do it. So he like said publicly on air, he's like, yeah, Baked, I'm not hanging out with that guy anymore. I'm done with him. I don't hate him, but I can't be involved with that shit.
That's funny.
What a fake ass piece of shit.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
fake.
There's always going to be those people, the ones that they will only follow trends because it gets them attention, it gets them certain things that they want, whatever the case is. Like BioBoy, for example. Like that motherfucker is only following the trend of feminism right now and being a fucking little spurgy SJW online because it actually gets him a little more attention. Like when he was just saying offensive jokes on fucking Facebook all the time, like nobody really gave two shits. He might get 2 or 3 likes. Some people get tagged in it and they're the only ones that actually like it. But now that he's fucking doing these anti-racism, anti-sexism posts, I wouldn't say on a regular basis, but like whenever he does do it, he gets attention from people he hasn't even tagged in it. And it's primarily fucking like the females he's been trying to hook up with and shit amongst a certain circle of people and stuff. So he's probably just sticking to it because it's like, well, it's kind of making me look like a really good guy. I might be able to get into her pants finally. Woohoo!
Yep.
Do you think he got any trim while he was hanging out with Ice Poseidon and his gang? Did anything fuck him?
Baked? No. Did you not see that fucking stream where that one he tried to feed a cookie to that chick and she was immediately grotesque out like she was just fuck
no,
you.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
Oh dude, okay. I woke up one day. I woke up the other day relatively early and it was way before
cookie?
it was way before the Kumite was on. And Vamp was rewatching certain streams from the fucking Ice Poseidon drama that had happened with that one meth head chick.
Aaron.
And I was no, not Aaron, the other one, the other blonde fucking 40-year-old bimbo thought. And like all of that drama was going on. And at one point, they watched it again on Kumite because I was just like, I swear to God, my shoulder was acting up. It wouldn't let me get that much sleep. So I checked fucking the internet to see what was on. Vamp was on. I'm like, oh, I'll watch a Vamp fucking live stream. And she's watching that shit. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm awake to watch this. Hurrah. This is so goddamn cringy. But one of the videos they kept watching was the chick in the straitjacket getting fucking like grossed out by Baked Alaska every fucking time he tried to get near her. It was fucking hilarious.
Touch my eyebrows.
Yeah, I saw someone saying today on Twitter they're wondering if who's gonna fuck Aaron first, Baked or Ice Poseidon.
Ice already fucked her. I'm just convinced. Ice already got all up in that. He seems like he gets around. Ice can get chicks, but Baked looks like a sad muffin with like 2 burn marks above his eyes.
And he's pushing for that, you know. I wonder what that chick's boyfriend's thinking of all this shit, if she even still has him.
No, maybe. You never know with thoughts. I don't fucking care anymore. I just want to get a case of Scrubs Thought Be Gone, and like that's it. That's all I want. Oh, that Kumite was, dude, Scrub was just pissed the entire time. He just kept hating on every fucking chick in the streams they were watching. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. These people like Poseidon and freaking Baked. Someone in chat was saying Logan Paul and Baked Alaska are going to start doing vlogs together, and they're calling it right now.
Oh no! See, like here's the thing: is like Baked has like he's a turnoff for any side, whether it's politically or just ethically, because you try to shove him in the face of Lauren Southern, and eventually she's gonna find out like, oh, you're a BuzzFeed faggot. And then he goes to try to hang out in the LA crew, and then they're like, "Oh, you're a tiki torch faggot." Like, he's fucked, and he's so dumb because he just tried to ride these waves of popularity or something. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
Notoriety. He's just trying to get seen.
By the way, I didn't even know that Brittany Venti was at that Tiki Torch march. Didn't know that.
She was?
Yeah, she's in the footage. This is probably known by everyone but us, but she's in the footage with Baked Alaska where he's filming. Brittany Venti's right behind him, just like chanting and smiling.
Yeah, talk about a thought, dude. That chick is fucking, I don't know, man.
I like Brittany Venti. She's a sniper, man. You got to watch out. She will fuck you up. She has like embarrassed a few dudes on the Kumite. I like her. I don't fucking care about her political affiliation. I just didn't know, like, and she could have been there to be trolling too. So I don't know what her intent was there. But I was surprised because I was watching the footage and then I was like, "Is that Brittany Venti? Is that the sloth from Ice Age? What's she doing there? What's she doing there?"
I'll have you know that she's a fine woman. I gladly put babies in her.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how that works, right?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah. I would let her rate me. She's a gorgeous woman. Just, I would, if while I was fucking her in my fantasy scenario, if there was a button next to me and I pressed that button and it put her stupid eyes closer, I'd press it. But I would do anything to her, yes.
Her eyes are pretty widespread, but that's why you have a fucking grocery bag, dude. Just throw it over her head when you're banging it out.
No, she's gorgeous. No, she's gorgeous.
How dare you?
No. I could look at that face. I mean, come on, Gluck. You would kill people for that face and body.
Well, to be fair, I mean, anything coming out of my mouth should be taken with a grain of salt. I haven't been laid in 8 years. Come on.
Yeah, fair. Samaj is absolutely right. I like to pick on people and shit like that, and I get picked on too. It's just a thing with Brockus and I. We've done that for years. But at the end of the day, I don't like the guys that they'll be like, "Ugh, that's a 7 out of 10. Yeah, maybe on a Wednesday." I'm like, "You'd fuck her now. You'd fuck her right now. If she was right here, you'd fuck her. And then you'd go eat cereal, come back and fuck her again because you got fiber. Like, in your diet, you'd fuck her. Like, don't lie to me. Like, I hate that shit. Like, 5 out of 10. A 5 out of 10 that you would let blow you every day.
Yeah, but if you think of it like this, it's not about whether or not you would allow them to, but if you had something better, would you choose that over it? Definitely no. You get what I mean?
Like, I'm saying, like, 99% of the guys that talk like that is the best. Like, deep down, if that girl knocked on their door and was like, "Hey, let's go out on a date and then you can plow me later," they'd be like, "I'm getting married." Because they know it doesn't get any better than that because they're talking out of their ass. They're acting like they have a selection. Like, Brockus, let's be honest. There's a bunch of dudes on here where we would just settle. We ain't players. We ain't Ice Poseidons who could probably nail anything.
I don't know. He's got one eyebrow now. That's kind of weird.
He does have one eyebrow.
He is doing some weird makeup thing too right now on his live stream. He's got like a prosthetic nose and prosthetic ears. It's weird. Guy's weird. He's weird.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, he does IRL fucking streaming. We kind of had a hint he was weird.
Yeah. I don't know, just the eyebrow thing and the stuff. It's to keep people around, man. That format gets tired fast,
Bitching witch, to remind you, your place in this world. Your number is a 7 out of 10. But again, as we were just discussing, if you came to my door and you're like, "I'll sit on your face for 10 hours," I'd be like, "All right, let's do that, and then we'll get married." Let's be real here. There ain't no players in this stream.
I really like her titties. I'm gonna give her an 8 out of 10.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You know.
I got to be honest. I was a player when I was younger, not in the sense of like I just got around, dude.
Like
To be quite honest.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Like yeah, I played.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Fuck no. But no, I mean I've never really hit a dry spell. I could get ass. I used to bartend, man. I could go home every night with a chick, you know,
I'm sorry. like,
consensually.
stop it.
Wow.
Don't say chick.
No.
Because everything up until the word chick, I was just imagining you bartending and you had like a fishnet muscle tee and you're just like shaking your drinks and the dudes are coming up and you're like, you're next.
Fuck you. I never worked at that place,
Well,
but
why
I did
didn't you say
sometimes go
why
home.
didn't you say you get pussy? You said you get ass, Freudian slip much a gluck.
Ass? Yeah, ass. Ass as in
I know.
the overall.
I know the asshole because I have one and I'm a dude.
No, but to get ass means it doesn't mean
To
that
get
I'm
an
banging
asshole.
out an ass. Fuck you, Zell. If I ever
Well,
see you,
well,
at,
careful.
if we see each other at VidCon, I'm gonna fuck you.
Are you
I'm
pulling
gonna
a
fuck
Are you
you.
pulling a Coach Red Pill
Are you-
versus Jeff?
Glock, are you going to be the bartender if you
I'm gonna
guys
be-
meet at VidCon?
Yes, I'm gonna be your guys' bartender.
You gotta wear a fishnet muscle tee now.
I'm
Please, play it up.
100%, and I'm taking you home, Smaj. You're gonna get laid.
Whoa.
Yeah, see, I could go there too. I'm a power
No,
top though. I got you.
No, I didn't think you went there. I just thought like that's genuine.
Oh, fuck you. I'm freaking.
No, I'm definitely not going.
How am I supposed to molest Samaj now? God damn it. Son of a bitch. You ruin everything.
You can molest me.
I mean, Samaj, I totally wasn't going to molest you at VidCon. No, that's not a thing.
I'm so going to buy a gun when I get down there.
This is California, dude. You'll be waiting for fucking 3 to 6 months, bro.
I'm sure I'll have a layover at like some at some gun positive.
Arizona.
Oh, I hope I fly over Arizona. Yeah.
Or Texas. A layover in Arizona or
I'll
Texas.
go to the gun shop and I'll say, "Hi, I'm Canadian." Oh, you poor soul. Here's a gun.
Watch your drinks, dude. Keep an eye on your drinks, man.
Oh man, I'll bring my own drinks. Thank you very much. I've sort of like given off on alcohol and all that.
But I make a really good cocktail, Samaj.
Wait, Samaj, you can't. You swore. Hold on. You're on an 8-year dry spell, and then you swear off alcohol,
I didn't swear it off. I'm just
and
not
then you
having it.
stream, and then you stream with nobodies every night. It's like you want to not get fucked. We need to help you, man. You gotta. You're supposed to turn up the alcohol intake.
Yeah.
And then socialize a little bit. Just get out there, and then when you find like a hole, just look at the hole. Don't look at the face.
Just close your eyes. Stick it in.
Yeah, but I mean, like morning hangovers are
Dating
already pretty
advice
bad.
from Brockus and Zell.
Oh God,
We're
no,
the last people that should be giving anybody dating advice, but here it is, Samaj.
Yeah, it's terrible advice.
It really is. I mean, I was trying to give really good advice to Kamikaze Ozzy a while back, but yeah, I don't think that would work out.
Was it? Don't call yourself Kamikaze Ozzy. That sounds a little too close to Allahu Akbar.
No, I kept telling him to like roofie this chick and basically fuck her in the ass when she was starting to wake up from it.
Fuck.
Dude!
Zell, don't even act surprised. You were reading the DMs I was sending him.
Oh, yeah, I do remember. It was very rapey.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very rapey.
And then at one point, I think I told him to roofie her, and while she's asleep, put anal beads in her ass. But then as she's starting to wake up, rip it out like you're starting a lawnmower.
Yeah. That's going to be, a very dirty lawnmower. Some mud might catch your eye. You know what I'm saying?
We call that bitch Beyblade. Let it rip.
So gross.
Yeah, that's rape. That would be rape.
All right, I guess they're just gonna have to change their fucking their slogan from "Let it rip" to "Let it rape."
Well, the important thing is, did you get it on a live stream? Because if you didn't, you wasted time. Another thing I want to touch on, if we have the time, is cognitive thought.
Oh yeah, he was here a few minutes ago.
He hopped in.
Yeah.
Oh, what did he talk about? Because it might be what I was going over.
It's the Matt strike thing on his YouTube channel, because we were asking him questions about the strike.
And he was saying that he knows he fucked up, and that next time he tries to archive something, he'll make better changes to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna bring up in Cognitive Thought's latest stream, I was a little sad to see it because I like the Day and I like the Roy, and they're good peeps. But I guess there's got to be some kind of heat between them, because there's always got to be some kind of fight somewhere. And Cognitive Thought did not appreciate the things that Adendro, Roy, and Day had to say about him in the stream, and he was going over it. You know, Day's stream yesterday, whatever.
Yeah, I was watching some of it.
And he was not a fan, and I just didn't know if you guys had any more introspection into that, because I watched a little bit of it and I could see a little bit of where he's coming from. They were getting him wrong in a few places, and I love Cognitive Thought. I think sometimes he might get a little too revved up, a little too paranoid, a little too jumpy at times. Most of the time he's pretty much on the ball, but he does have his moments where he just okay, calm down, buddy.
He's British. Of course he's a little paranoid.
No, look at Roy.
Yeah, Roy's
so chill, man.
There are only two. Yeah, but there are only two kinds of Brits: Brits who fucking don't care, and Brits who might have a little bit of a paranoia issue. That's it.
That's Brits. That's Brit. You figured out what Brit. That's it.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are.
That's the range of Brits. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Which one is Kate Blanchett?
She doesn't care.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
You got this down to a science. I'm just stunned by the science you got here. I never heard this system before. Hey, they either think people are outside their door every day or they want to drink a beer.
No, I don't know. Those are stupid jokes I'm gonna make. I don't care. I'm one of the Americans that don't care.
Aww.
What? You guys knew this about me. You knew what this was.
Yeah.
You think I care about any of you on this stream? I care immensely.
You don't have internet friends?
You want to get a little more pissed off, Brockus?
On what exactly?
On the Star Wars.
Oh, fucking Christ. What new information do you have? Okay, let's go over the shit that's been pissing me off real quick. We got the chick who plays fucking the special stormtrooper who keeps dying like Kenny, and she wants to explore her character more, and I'm like, you're literally a fucking joke. Your character is Captain Phasma. She was supposed to be the new Boba Fett, but instead they turned her into new Star Wars Kenny. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's a good way to put that. Oh my God, they killed Phasma! You bastards!
and then we've got fucking, the SJW queen herself, who's apparently a force sensitive, even though we saw literally no evidence of that whatsoever. We've got fucking Mark Hamill. Basically, every time he speaks out against the movie franchise now, he's told by the movie franchise execs, you need to stop, which causes him to delete his previous comments and then make a fucking apology tweet or some shit like that. And I'm like, God damn it, stop it. The guy has things he wants to get off his chest. Let him get it off his chest. And then we also have this shitty Solo movie. I hate everything around and in that movie right now.
Daenerys is the only thing that's and I like Donald Glover, so those two are worth it.
Okay, I like Donald Glover, and if given the chance, I would just fuck the shit out of Emilia Clarke. I would love to be just around that woman. Although I shouldn't be, because there is a chance that I'm gonna fucking Bill Cosby her ass. But
get rapey.
But what new news do you have for me, sir? Come on.
Sorry, give me a sec. I have to go kill this dog. I'll be right back in like
Oh,
2
okay, fair
seconds.
enough. I'll just continue
See-
with the.
See, Bruckus, this is what you gotta do. You gotta be proactive. You gotta go kill a four-legger. All right, go do your neighbors.
You have no
Go.
idea how they don't wake me up anymore. They used to. I'm kind of used to the dogs now, but like now, since I started streaming, I don't know what it is, but every fucking time I hear a dog bark, I just like there's another piece of me that dies a little inside, and it's replaced with pure hatred. I just want to go and fucking murder that goddamn dog. And it's only one. They have multiples. They have multiple dogs over there, but it's only the one who never shuts the fuck up, and I just want to go and strangle it.
The person whose name I pronounced wrong earlier said Rose is the perfect character, though.
Rhino?
Yeah, Rhino.
Rhino, you sick fuck. You need to stop. Goddamn Rhino troll and shit. Think you're so fucking cool with your Rhino privilege.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're just, I don't know. I heard J.J. Abrams wanted to flip it and not basically make 8 like not exist. Is that correct?
I do remember Zell telling me not too long ago that J.J. Abrams has a plan for 9 where he's basically going to rewrite the entire fucking movie of episode 8. And I am like both nervous and optimistic about it because I'm like, yes, eliminate everything that happened in 8. And yet at the same time, I'm like, but we have never touched time travel in Star Wars, even in the expanded universe, as far as I know. I don't know how I feel about this.
You know, I think the biggest surprise, and welcomed one, is that when we go in there to go sit down and see the J.J. Abrams movie, and then we find out that what we watched was the remake of Episode 8 all along. This is Episode 8, people. Episode 9 is just around the corner.
Oh, Christ.
It didn't happen. Okay, it didn't happen. You're okay. You're okay.
Well, I don't understand why he stepped away in general, because the first one was pretty dang good, and then he steps away and lets someone else take over.
Well, it good, and it was sort of divisive. It was better than the last one.
Yes,
but
that's what I mean.
it was not like it wasn't mind blowing. It didn't make everyone super happy. It was okay for the most part. And I think he's sort of sick of always remaking things. He did it with Star Trek, and a lot of people got mad at him for that. He did it with Star Wars. A lot of people got mad at him for that. I imagine he's the kind of guy who gets sick of being yelled at. It's like he can't do anything right, but he does things kind of right. And so I think it's a very I hate to be in his shoes.
Yeah, but then again, we've got other directors out there like Zack Snyder who he doesn't recreate anything, but he's still hated on because his movies are just dark and gritty, and when you look at the actual like story of it, with something like 300, it was executed fucking very well. But then you watch The Watchmen, and it's like you have a lot of questions because it just seems like the plot seemed very fucking diluted and it didn't make any goddamn sense. And then you try to watch fucking Batman versus Superman or Justice League, and you're just like, okay, stop. You need to stop. You need to fucking stop right now, Zach. I don't care how much of a fan base you have. Fuck off. You're new Michael Bay. Eat a dick.
Yeah, seriously.
If they are going to do something in episode 9 where they're going to like change things up or maybe even bring characters back, I hope they find some way to work in there to get Luke and Han Solo and Chewie all back together.
Billy Senpai for $2. Brockus, the new spokesman for PETA.
Oh my god!
It's about.
I would take that job actually.
That's about right.
But as for Star Wars, what I actually get upset about is a lot of people when you look over at The Force Awakens, there are a lot of things that didn't make sense. There were a lot of things that didn't need to happen and stuff like that. And you know, okay, so Han Solo dying, a lot of people are still pissed off at that. And every single time somebody brings that argument up, all I say is, look, I understand you think that that was disrespectful to a beloved character, a classic from the Star Wars original trilogy and all that stuff, and you loved him, you thought he was great and all that stuff. You seem to forget that that is one of the most hated characters of Harrison Ford's career. And he only agreed to come back to the movie franchise so he could have the character fucking die. Harrison never really liked Han Solo. Simple and plain. But so like anyone who argues with that, you need to stop. What the Mary Sue thing with Rey. Originally, I used to actually make this argument saying you can't look at Rey as a pure Mary Sue, because if you actually pay attention to her throughout the movie, she's very fucking confused, but she's rolling with it. She's very confused. She doesn't know how she's doing it. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Right. And
I
the
thought
other issue, too, was as far as The Force Awakens is concerned, like we let it go because we're like, because there's going to be a great explanation behind it. There's going to be some kind of, and in Last Jedi, it was just like, no, she just does that stuff because women.
Yeah, that's where I got pissed the fuck off, because I'm like, you could have had something great here. You could have had one of the best fucking like character development stories in a 2-movie fucking thing. Oh my god, it could have been amazing, but nah, you pissed all over your opportunity.
I think the other problem with that was also the fact that there was such emphasis on Rey's parents that, oh no, they were nothing. They were just, you know, junkies and whatnot who died in unmarked graves. Like,
now, to be fair, it could be like a ruse where they're trying to throw you off, and maybe she really does have important parentage. But it just like, still the way they went about it doesn't really help your excitement for the next one, because you still have that inkling feeling in your stomach of like, did you just tell me like the truth? Is it just nothing? Because now I'm not interested. Like, I get you, but
well,
you know, I don't
half of that script was written by fucking fanfic on Tumblr.
Well, and they didn't really leave it open to anything for the end besides, oh, he's the new Vader. Like, there was no like real cliffhanger like there was in the first one.
Yeah.
What was even
that's
more
true,
disappointing,
because at the end of episode 5, there's enough going on where you don't know how it's going to be resolved, but you'd like to see it resolved, and you don't know what forces are going to be at play. Like, you know, at the end of episode 5, you're like, is Luke going to continue his training? Is Han Solo going to die in that carbonite chamber? Are they going to rescue him? Will Luke confront his father? Like, you had so many questions. At the end of The Last Jedi, I'm like, great. So the only thing left to look forward to after Last Jedi, because they answer everything. It's shitty answers, but they answer everything. They wipe the slate clean. And then literally the ending of Last Jedi is like, just get ready for bad guy beat good, or bad guy versus good guy. That's all that was left hanging. There's no cliffhanger really at all.
Yeah, and they pretty much mirrored it in the new stuff too.
I think that was probably, for me,
Sorry.
one of the most disappointing things about Kylo Ren was that they tried to make him like new Vader so hardcore that they completely forgot what made Vader such an awesome and interesting character. Kylo Ren is just like a pissed off Spurg now.
I know. Yeah, it got bad in Last Jedi, because I know I was in the minority as far as Force Awakens is concerned, but I thought in The Force Awakens, that they were building an interesting character. He was a different villain. He was, I don't even know if you'd call him a villain. It just, they did a good job of like making you aware every time you saw him on screen that like, you're not seeing a villain, you're seeing a really fucked up, broken kid.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants out of this, but he's enthralled and sucked into the dark side, but he wants out. He wants the pain to stop. And that was really cool. And then in Last Jedi, he's just like, more lasers! And you're like, okay. Like, I don't care about you anymore.
After The Force Awakens, I was like, what compelled Kylo Ren? What compelled Ben Solo to actually turn to the dark side. What mindfuckery thing happened to him in his?
Would you have ever guessed in a million years the answer to your question there, Brockus, was
That's what I was leading up to.
Luke tried to kill him? Would you have ever guessed that in a million years? We know the character of Luke. That was the answer. Luke tried to kill him.
Kylo, why did you turn to the dark side? My uncle tried to kill me. The fuck you say? Luke, of all people, tried to kill you. Okay. I don't believe you. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, I'm sorry. I know Kylo Ren is supposed to be formidable, and he is. And I know that the fight scenes and choreography are crude in the original trilogy. They are. But it's still very clearly established that Kylo Ren ain't no Darth Vader. Darth Vader is unmatched.
Yeah, so
aside from maybe Darth Sidious, but Darth Vader is unmatched. And he's Luke's father, not even a nephew, father. And Luke faced that man and kept his goodwill intact for the most part. And at the end of the whole thing, believed in his father.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the most optimistic hero in the entire franchise. Like, no matter what deck was stacked against him, no matter what was like the odds, he didn't fucking care. It's like, no, I'm gonna go help them because they're my friends. No, I'm gonna go help him because he's my father. It didn't matter to Luke.
Yeah,
Luke,
and then
it turned into like, it was good.
And then it turned into like, you ain't doing the dishes tonight? All right, take this, nephew. Like,
so
what? You couldn't have a conversation? You couldn't like put him in a force bubble and be like, you're dangerous. You had to be like, I'm gonna think about killing you.
I could sense it in you, the darkness growing. Let me stab you.
And that was the worst part. It's like I could already feel Snoke's hold on him. I'm like, okay, first of all, how the fuck did you know it was Snoke? Second of all, how did Snoke do it? Like, I have too many goddamn questions. And then third of all, for this line of questioning though, why did you think death was the only answer when you basically saw your father, who was full-fledged fucking dark side, and you wouldn't kill him? Come on, dude.
All right. I got so I apologize. I have two pieces of Star Wars information. The second one might be kind of spoilery for the Solo movie, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone cares.
Yeah, it's a Solo movie.
Stick around or not? Who cares?
No one cares about Solo, but go for it.
Okay. Well, the first piece that came out today, I believe, was an interview that Steven Spielberg had with his movie The Post. And in the interview, he was asked about Kathleen Kennedy, who runs Lucasfilm under Disney. And Spielberg had worked with Kathleen Kennedy. Well, Spielberg actually didn't have very nice choice words about Kathleen Kennedy. In fact, apparently, Kathleen Kennedy has a reputation of not working well with directors, of butting up against them and being very picky. And if you look at the new Star Wars shit that's going on, as far as Solo is concerned, we lost the original directors on that. As far as Episode 9 is concerned, we lost the original director on that. As far as scripts are concerned, we lost the original outline for The Last Jedi when Rian Johnson threw it out and Kathleen Kennedy was like, yeah, more girl power. Mm-hmm. So it's like spelling disaster. And then one of the scariest things that I heard was the next anthology movie, which is rumored to be the Obi-Wan movie, to be released in 2020. Kathleen Kennedy was questioned about that. And she was asked about, like, you know, would you bring back Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan? And anyone with a brain cell who runs Lucasfilm would be like, yes. And like, if we're doing the Obi-Wan movie, that's who we're getting. Boom. Fans are pleased.
Yeah.
That's it. Put it aside. Her answer was more akin to, well, if he's right for the part. What?
he played the character already, lady.
So it's not even like confirmed that he's playing Obi-Wan. I mean, hopefully they do. They'll probably smarten up and be like, "Wow, that was dumb," but still, like you don't confirm it. Just confirm it. Just confirm it. Are you retarded?
Yeah, because I think he's at the right age where if they're doing it after the Clone Wars stuff and all that, he's the perfect age for the character right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
perfect,
Obi-Wan watching over like Kid Luke and everything like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor has aged gracefully, so he
Yeah.
looks fine. You could maybe put some makeup on him, touch him up a little bit, and you get rid of 10 years. The guy looks good for his age. So just fucking do it. But this was the best nugget of information. I don't know if any of you guys follow Ethan Van Sciver.
I do.
I don't.
I have
Okay.
some catching up to do, but I do follow him.
Well, recently he got in some hot water with a few people that write articles and have been writing articles, like kind of pushing a lot of love about this Solo movie, kind of shilling, you know.
Yeah.
And in the most recent trailer and in the release of a certain toy of a certain figure or of a certain character in the movie, there is a villain in the movie by the name of Enfys Nest. And it's the character in the movie that you see for a split second that has like the metal rod sticking out of its mask and
the Destiny character.
Yes, thank you, the Destiny character. Like pretty much me, but with like feathery stuff.
I'm glad you're admitting it now.
Yeah. So Ethan sees the trailer and had already at this point bought the figurine because he likes to do that shit and review the shitty fucking toys that they're releasing. And after he sees the trailer, writes a thing about like, oh yeah, it's obvious Enfys Nest is Solo's mom. That's going to be the reveal. It's Solo's mom. And I believe he either got emails or flagged or something, but he started receiving heat. I forget in what form from a lot of these outlets, these article outlets that were kind of pretty much like, you know what I mean? He knew how to interpret it, and pretty much it was, shut up, you're spoiling shit. And then apparently even Disney got involved too. And he's just like, oh, they're mad because I called it. But wasn't that obvious? Like,
Right? I don't know. It's funny when they think that they're being super secretive and they give away way too much in their own trailer.
well, it just like I didn't call it, but as soon as Ethan said it, I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what they would do. They would do that shit because the character, even like if you look at their posturing and everything, like and their build, it's like, oh yeah, that's a female under there. And then they're gonna like, of course, because it's Star Wars under Disney, they're going to pull a whole like, of course the badass villain is a powerful woman, and of course that powerful woman is Han Solo's mom. And of course, Han Solo couldn't have been Han Solo without that powerful mom. It's like they're gonna pull some shit like that.
So
Yeah.
super
I'm looking
chat
at
from
pictures of this character, and it's not looking good at all.
super chat from Billy Senpai. He said they nerf Luke's power so hard in the movie and fuck up his character so bad.
They do. It's
I
sad.
totally agree. Like the biggest complaint that I had right out of the movie when Brockus and I were like going back and forth about our dislikes was Luke. Like, okay, first off, at the end of the movie of The Last Jedi, they have this little base, this not underground, but this little base, little door, whatever, and they need to hold out. Now, at this point, they have not in any way been able to communicate this to Luke. It is a surprise to Leia when Luke arrives. But Luke astral projects there and goes, like, just nods to everybody and walks outside. and then everybody just kind of agrees, like, oh my God, yeah, he's out there to give us a distraction. How do you know that? That's my first question. How do you know that? How do you know he's not walking outside and
How do you
giving
know
you
that?
30 fucking seconds?
Hey, how do you know that?
Yeah, like instead they're just like, we got 15 minutes, guys. Because we know that.
What's wrong
And
with your face?
And then at the same time, he astral projects there and then pisses them off a little bit and then pisses off Kylo Ren even more. And then he goes, okay, bye. making the matter worse. Because now they're pissed. They haven't lost any of their forces thanks to Luke. And like Kylo Ren couldn't be angrier now. And then he leaves. And it's like, that's not Luke. When you show me Luke's X-Wing in this latest series of Star Wars movies, you use that goddamn X-Wing. Luke would hop in that X-Wing, he would shoot over there, and then he would pop right in front of that barrier. And like, would you not have creamed in your pants if he was actually there and started slicing down AT-STs?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, that would have been like 100 times better.
Or
If-
AT-ATs, sorry.
If we had seen that scene that you basically saying where he just goes in and just started slicing everything the fuck up, it would have drowned out that real quick 5-minute scene. No, that 5-minute scene that everybody still keeps talking about with Rogue One.
Yeah, and then how cool would this have been too? It's just like little touches to save Luke's character. I think it would have been badass and actually added a bit of character to Rey. If when she started fighting with Luke when it was raining and she's like fighting with him with sticks or whatever, she's got the lightsaber and he's got like some stick or something. It would have been really fucking cool if like she kind of got the better of him for a moment. And then you see in his face, his demeanor changes, and he turns into the Luke we know, and beats her fucking ass to send some humility into her, and then gets the lightsaber from her and points it right at her face, and then just walks away. I mean, that's a great character moment. And then suddenly I feel a little more for Rey because I'm like, oh, you're not indestructible. You must feel like shit.
And not to mention, it would teach her that there's still room to grow.
Exactly.
Just because you get like one up on like a good character doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. I mean, there's an important lesson in defeat.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they pussied him up. Like I don't know. They wanted to make it a chick flick, you know, in the sense of girl power and all that shit. And so the one iconic
it felt like a young adult novel version of Star Wars, did it not?
Yeah, it did. And the one iconic male character that was left besides like a Chewie, gets killed. I mean, or goes out the pussy way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck the books. Our comics, he was able to crush a goddamn Star Destroyer like a beer can. Yeah. They completely wiped out his power level.
And then say what you want about Force Awakens. You can hate it if you want. That's fine too. But with Force Awakens, what JJ did is he took the ball and he lofted it up in the air to the point where any shot you wanted, you could make. And Ryan came along and punctured the ball, threw it down and said, "We're playing hockey."
Yeah. Oh, he completely flipped out the whole movement that it could have went.
Yeah, and JJ was like, "Dude, it was there. Just dunk it." What are you doing?
Someone in chat wanted to know what you guys think of the Marvel series Legion on FX.
I, for the most part, have not watched anything from season 2. I've watched most of season 1, but if I there's actually a few things from season 1 I'm still missing because I was recording it on the TV.
Well, just give us your brief, like, you know, sort of review of the material you've seen, because I've heard you talk about it a little and you kind of sounded meh about it.
It's meh.
I appreciate the fact that they actually did stick to the actual mythos behind Legion. Like, there's a lot of people that actually talk about how Legion is like one of the most powerful mutants in the Marvel universe. It's true. He's actually one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel entire universe and everything like that, because he has a severe, like the worst severe case of DID that any character has probably ever had in any story ever. And he has an entire power base around each personality. He's one of the most powerful telepaths, depending on what personality he's using, or he's one of the strongest characters, depending on what power he's using. Legion is essentially referred to as Legion because he has an uncalculated amount of different power sets, and they kind of reflect that a bit in the TV show, which was really cool. But one of the other things that makes Legion such an interesting character is that he is the son of Professor Xavier. And he's a character that is extremely troubled because of his various personalities, to where at one moment he's like a good guy trying to save the world and stuff, but at another moment he is trying to kill it because he's like basically psychotic and stuff. And they, in the show, they did this thing with the Shadow King, where they had this like CGI looking demon looking character, and it was haunting him throughout the entire show. And then like towards the end, like the last couple of episodes, you find out that that is just a projected version of what the Demon King is supposed to actually look like. And his supposed female best friend, who he has been like, I guess you could say, you know, it was some sort of a psychological snap for him, and he's talking to her through his own mind because like she's dead, but he's able to talk to the dead, whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. No, it turns out that that chick, I forget her fucking name.
Aubrey Plaza. I don't know
Aubrey
her
Plaza.
character name.
Yeah, no, she is Farouk, the demon, the Shadow King.
Yeah.
That's her actual role. She's supposed to be the Shadow King, and she was disguising his memories for a really long time to fuck with him. And I'm just like, none of this is making any sense. Like, the Shadow King has never had that much kind of control over a character, especially a character like Legion. So they took a lot of liberties just to make it more interesting, but they're also trying to keep it as separated from the X-Men mythos as they can. And I'm just like, you can't do that.
Not when his dad's Professor X.
Right. It's like, you can't keep Legion separate from the fucking stories because like there's too much of the X-Men with like, he's literally introduced in the X-Men comic books, people. Come on. He's a member of the X-Men at one point, but he's also one of their greatest enemies and stuff. And in some stories, he is referred to as what is it called? Prometheus. He goes by the name Prometheus at one point in the comic books, but like he's still Legion. It's just, there's the various different versions of Legion and shit, but like the show was trying to keep themselves as separated from the X-Men as they possibly could, but still had all the elements of the X-Men with mutants and shit. It was just like, I didn't know where the show was going, and I just lost interest.
In my opinion, the thing is with this show is that it follows the main character of Legion, who is a very unreliable storyteller. And as a result, you can never be 100% sure of what you're watching at all times. And I think that while that can be interesting, it doesn't progress the story really much at all because you don't even know if you're even progressing at all. Mm-hmm. And after a while, with so much uncertainty from start to finish, even in the season in particular, it's hard to get invested. It's just really hard. There are certain elements that are interesting and certain things that do maintain, like the Shadow King or Demon King or whatever. But even that is sprinkled throughout. And the stuff that you think is real might not be real. And it's a mindfuck, and that's entertaining, but it's limited. It only withstands the attention of the audience for so long. I loved it when I started watching it, but the gimmick
wore off quick.
It wore off quick. Halfway, I'm done with it, and I thought that let's follow the other character's perspective. That way, we can get their feeling like, oh, this guy is not stable. Should we like that? Would be like that would have been an appropriate turnaround, and we only partially get that. and even that's questionable. And I'm like, if it's a Legion episode, questioning his point of view, that makes sense. But if it's a different character's episode, then I want a little bit more stability. And I think that it lacked the balance, and boredom just set in.
Yeah, I found myself trying to skip, because like on Hulu, it has the 15-second skip ahead. I found myself skipping a lot of the downtime stuff. The one show that Fox did well, and they did not try and separate the X-Men out, was that other one that was actually on Fox, not on FX, but on Fox. It was the one about the Young Mutants, and it takes place pretty much after the X-Men have all disappeared. And it's their kids, like Magneto's daughter's in it. I don't know what it's fucking called. You know what I'm talking about, guys?
Sort of. Magneto's had a couple of questionable children. They may not be, like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Oh yeah, that actually is an interesting story. Their original introduction into the stories was they actually were not the children of Magneto, but Marvel eventually pushed this arc where all three party members were actually convinced that they are in fact the bastard children of Magneto, hence the reason why their names are Maximoff and never get changed to Lentier and stuff like that, because it's like, well, the Maximoffs actually raised us. But then later on, when they reboot it and say that they are the legit children of Magneto and stuff, it's just because there was too much confusion with the original story. And then eventually they retcon it because of the drama with Fox. So yeah, they're no longer the actual children of Magneto. They never were to begin with, but Polaris is the only confirmed legit child of Eric Magnus Glencher.
That's the show I'm talking about with Polaris is in it. I'm pretty sure it's called The Gifted. Did you ever see that one?
No, I never watched it.
It was actually not too bad. It was definitely a nice take, and they didn't separate themselves out of the universe. They kept themselves latched into what makes the X-Men, and they acknowledge, different characters and stuff. Before we jump off, because I know it's getting kind of late, I wanted to tell everyone in chat, what show you've got to watch is Cobra Kai. Have either of you watched it yet?
No.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so it's a Netflix Red show that just came out on the 2nd, and it takes place after the Karate Kid movies. So it's got the original two characters, William Zabka and what's his name, who played the original Karate Kid?
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio. They're adults, and it's framed around that. But the best part about it is it did not allow politically correct bullshit to get in its way.
How did this not get advertised?
It was all over. It was all over YouTube. The first episode's for free. Fucking really good. I finished it, and it is throwback to the first two Karate Kids. They do a really good job, tying back into the series, but it's from the perspective of, a washed out and down and out Johnny Lawrence after how his life became after he lost, the All Valley tournament. And there's a point where one of the guys is all talking about how all races, he feels for all races and blah, blah, blah. And freaking William Zabka's character is all, kick this pussy's ass. Just, they did not care to be politically correct. And that has made it, in my eyes, great, because they don't throw in the traditional linchpins that you see recently with the fucking SJW stuff.
Huh. I have to watch this now.
Yeah, it's really good. I did a month of Red so I could watch it.
Oh God, you actually paid money for that. That's disgusting.
No, the first month's free, motherfucker.
Oh, delete that shit as soon as you fucking are about to get charged with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like listening to shit like this off my screen and in my lock screen, so I might keep it around. I don't know. Plus, it gives, that the fact that if I'm watching the stream, even though I may not be super chatting, that you guys as monetized get money from me watching it. You get your share from YouTube Red. So
cool. I hate giving Susan Wojcicki more business than he deserves.
So we
Okay.
want to
We-
cut
we-
it there.
We'll probably wind down. I did want to say something because I know that we were the other day we were talking about Avengers. I wanted to voice a theory. I want to get your guys' opinion on whether or not this might be a viable thing for the
Okay,
next
but
Avengers.
Before you go, before you start, spoiler alert or anything for anyone in chat?
Yes, I was about to say it would be a spoiler alert, but we did that the other day, so I assume if we're getting the regular watchers, they should already know this. But just in case, spoiler alert, all that stuff. Marcus has already seen it. Him and I have already gone back and forth yesterday or wherever we chat.
Yeah, I
So-
watched it this morning. So
All right. So if you recall in the Avengers Infinity War, there was a scene where Thanos and Tony Stark had a moment when I think it was Thanos that said to Tony that he's been dreaming of him. And Tony says, I've been dreaming of you. It was sort of I'm paraphrasing. It was something along those lines where they like Tony was talking about nightmares and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Earlier in the movie, because it seemed like there may have been something that went on there. And I think that will play a factor in the next movie. Now, earlier in the movie, Tony had said as well to Pepper Potts that he was dreaming about having a kid. And he's thinking, oh, we should have a kid. My thought is that I think Pepper's already pregnant. And I think that in the next movie, in order to reverse everything that Thanos has done, they need to get the Infinity Gauntlet off of him. But in order to use it, you need to make a sacrifice. And I don't think he's going to sacrifice any of the main characters. I think he might accidentally sacrifice his unborn kid.
ooh,
It's a bit dark, but that's the. And I hope it doesn't happen. But something, I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the who would get sacrificed, if you will. And a lot of people are thinking it's going to be Captain America. I don't think it's going to be him.
well, hasn't it always been that it was going to be Iron Man? That's what the whole setup has been through the whole Marvel universe.
Well, no, I think it's what it is. I think that Iron Man's going to get the gauntlet. I think that's how it's going to happen. But in order to use the gauntlet, you have to sacrifice someone that you love, because that's how the Soul Stone would work. At least that's how it's worked so far. And Thanos,
But wasn't that only to get the Soul Stone?
yeah,
originally.
but but you have to understand it's not going to be exactly to the base of the comics. So I'm thinking that someone's going to have to get sacrificed to use it. And I think for Thanos it was Gamora. For Tony, it's going to have to be something else. And a lot of people are speculating it's going to be, Captain America. I don't think
Or
it
did
will.
he just cut out?
What?
What?
Oh,
think
it
it's
sounded like
just
you
you.
cut out on my end. You're good.
I think it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's my theory.
Yeah, okay. Couple of things. It's an interesting theory, and that is something that Marvel would definitely, or I wouldn't say Marvel would definitely throw, but like the people over at Marvel Studios would probably throw some kind of curveball at us like that. And it's really fucked up, but at the same time, it's one of those things that it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to do shit like that.
Well, it would hit them in the wallet because they could still make the toys.
True, but that's not exactly how the gauntlet works, and that's not exactly how the stones work. Once you've got them, you can use them. It doesn't really matter like how you obtained it. You can still use the damn things. It's not Mjolnir, where like in order to actually use the gauntlet, you have to appease one of the stones and shit. Once you've gotten the gauntlet, you have to be able to withstand that kind of power. What they did establish in the movie is that in the very beginning, one of Thanos's lackeys basically says that Thanos is about to do something no one has ever done, wield more than one stone at once. And that's the whole concept of what the gauntlet is. It's supposed to be an actual control device that allows you to actually use all 6 stones at your discretion all at once in combinations, whatever the case might be. That's what the sole purpose of the gauntlet is for somebody to be able to actually wield that sort of thing. So if anything, if Tony does get the gauntlet, puts it on, he's going to have a hell of a struggle to basically withstand that kind of power. But like, I think it's going to be the whole thing. Like his will was strong enough to actually withstand that kind of power and stuff. And I don't think he's going to sacrifice his kid if he does actually have a kid. I think Tony is going to sacrifice himself, because if you actually pay attention to the lead up with all the Avengers movies, Tony consistently blames himself for a lot of the world's troubles. The reason why the Maximoff kids lost their parents is because of when Stark Industries was still building weapons.
Yeah.
He feels like shit because he used to build a bunch of weapons that were inevitably used on him, and they were used to kill a lot of innocent people. So he stopped making weapons entirely. And then in Age of Ultron, he inadvertently created one of the greatest villains the world had ever seen. And it was, again, good intentions, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And Steve tried warning him about that. Civil War happened. And look whose fault it was. Look who he's still blaming for the Civil War incident. He struggled just to even make a phone call to Steve because he knew he was actually wrong in a lot of what he did. Now, Steve was also wrong from his perspective. My perspective, Steve wasn't actually wrong. But Tony is consistently seeing that the world's problems tend to be his. He's the one behind it. He's the one who's causing too many problems in the world. So if anything, it'll be a self-sacrifice. And Tony loves Pepper Potts greatly. But throughout the entire fucking movie franchise, who does he love more than anyone?
Himself.
Exactly. So he will probably, if there is a sacrifice necessary, Tony will most likely sacrifice himself.
Yeah, but how are they going to spin it? Because they're not going to leave Gamora dead.
That's okay. See, that's one of the things that I kept telling people. When it comes to the Marvel formula, one of the biggest Marvel formulas, even DC has this formula, but
don't believe they're dead unless you see that they're dead.
No. It's not even that. It's not everything that dies stays dead. That's part of the Marvel formula. It's something that I keep telling people. Like you don't seem to understand the Marvel formula. It doesn't matter what the franchise is. It doesn't matter if it's movies, comic books, TV shows, cartoons, or even video games. What dies doesn't always stay dead. And so in the realm of possibilities of certain characters coming back to life, Gamora will probably come back because it was the Soul Stone that was used, she died to actually, for Thanos to obtain and stuff. The Soul Stone is one of the only stones that functions completely differently than the rest of them. Now, at one point in the actual comic books, or maybe they just did it for the cartoon, but there was an actual control stone that allowed you to control the entire gauntlet and stuff, but I think they just did away with that a long time ago. That's why I misspoke and said one of the only stones that actually works differently. The Soul Stone works a lot differently than the others. It's kind of got its own set of rules. Like with the Power Stone, now you're super powerful. With the Space Stone, you can jump between planets almost instantaneously, or teleport like you were fucking Nightcrawler throughout the entire area, whatever the case is. With the Mind Stone, you can actually control the actual thoughts, or even zombify and make people your thralls and stuff like that. With the Space Stone, you can speed up or reverse time, shit like that. That's what all these different stones do. What do you think the Soul Stone is? Purely life and death? No. The Soul Stone even has its own existence inside itself. When we see Adam Warlock at one point in the comic books, he's actually trapped inside of the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
And so basically, if anything, if we do get Gamora coming back, it's probably because she's not actually dead, technically. Her soul, her consciousness is inside the stone.
That makes sense because of what they've done with the comics. But then they also, in the comics, they have 7 stones. So, I mean, God only knows what they'll be able to do, or if they're even going to go into the 7th stone,
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain. I mean, Ant-Man comes out in a couple months, and that's going to be the end of all the summer Marvel movies, which is kind of strange considering that you think you'd end with Avengers, considering how it ended with such a huge cliffhanger. But I think Ant-Man's going to be the key leading up to a lot of the events that go on in the next Avengers movie. With that said, next summer, the first Marvel movie coming out is Captain Marvel, and we all know that that's going to be a factor there.
They promoted it at the end of that was the final scene.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
nobody actually saw that coming, then you clearly haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
Well, her thing like takes place in the was it 70s, 90s? Thank you. But and then of course we know nothing about her. She hasn't like she could be in some cosmic war, for all we know. I don't know. I'm willing to bet she's probably trapped in the Soul Stone somewhere.
Yeah, but see, that's the other thing about it is like that only leads too many questions, because the more I thought about it, it's like, so wait, Captain Marvel has been a thing since the 90s in this world. And then you have Nick Fury in the first Avengers movie pointing at Thor and saying, ask him, when both Bruce and Tony were confronting him along with Steve about the weapons of mass destruction, like the highly high-tech weapons, the highly dangerous weapons and stuff, for like phase 2, I think they were calling it. And so they were confronting him like, why do you got all these fucking weapons? Why do you got these extremely dangerous weapons and shit? What the fuck is S.H.I.E.L.D. doing and stuff? And then Nick turns and says, like, ask him. And it was like, you know, when he came down and he completely destroyed all of our agents, we realized we were not alone and we were not powerful. And I'm thinking to myself, did you forget that you had pretty much like a secret weapon, alien-like based character in your ranks? Is that just a thing that you forgot completely about? What the fuck, Nick? Like, or are you so super ridiculously secretive that you have to push blame on someone else, knowing fully well that you had a superhero that could probably go toe to toe with fucking somebody like Thor, but you know, you just don't want them to know all your secrets. And it's just like, it makes me think too many goddamn questions. Like, so where the fuck has Captain Marvel been this entire time? When the Chitauri came into Earth, where the fuck was Captain Marvel? When
Captain Marvel was in the same place as Spider-Man. They forgot to actually bring it in because they didn't think the system would be as popular as it is. That's, I mean, essentially it.
It could also be that he keeps pressing it. I mean, there's no reason why he had that page on him, and when the Chitauri invaded, he did press it. We just never saw him do it. But of course, nothing happened. So Plan B, the Avengers.
Well, and they can tie up in the sense of have it, because the movie's set in the 90s. They could have it tie in and then have like jump cuts or something at the end, which is time skip. You know what I mean? So you see what she was involved in.
How much you want to bet that, like we saw that something happened to Nick Fury's eye, that was brought on by a secret Skrull on Earth that attacked him.
Maybe.
I know it sounds a bit much, but like I said, we don't know what happened in back in the 90s. We don't know what kind of shit's been going on.
That's true.
But I guess we'll have to wait until Captain Marvel to find out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those things where, like, you might have several questions. You might even have a few theories to explain your questions, but it just it brings up too many damn questions still, because it's just like, all right, so maybe you had Captain Marvel. Maybe she went missing. Well, okay, fine. When I see the green and black suit in that screenshot that we got, some people are saying that maybe the green is supposed to, like, be a part of the CGI, and all of a sudden, like, you know, maybe we'll get like some kind of special glowing suit or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, that doesn't make sense, because Captain Marvel's never really had a glowy suit type thing, nor did Ms. Marvel when Carol was Ms. Marvel. So none of that actually makes any sense. The only thing I can think of is the color scheme for the Team Sword, which is another S.H.I.E.L.D. organization, but it's called Sword specifically. Give me 1 second while I look that up.
That's fine. I actually could see her working for the Kree for a brief time, because I know that her and the original Captain Marvel are actually going to be in this movie. But we know, of course, the other guy, he dies, and then we're just left with Carol Danvers.
Antoine, you missed the societal cancer. It was the first like hour and 45 minutes, and we've just been talking after that.
Now we're just talking superhero stuff and
Yeah.
and theories, but we're gonna have to wrap it up here. So
All right. What? I think I have it. God damn it! Stop with all this stupid fucking information. Just give me the meaning of the acronym. You son of a bitch.
well, thanks for coming over, guys. We had Barry, Aglock, Brockus, Muted Schmeckel, myself. Who else? Oh yeah, and Zell. Zell was here. Thanks Zell,
Yeah,
for
and
coming.
Cog jumped in for
Oh.
a few seconds.
That's right, Mr. In Trouble himself.
Oh, I got it. Sentient World Observation and Response Department. That's what SWORD is.
Gotcha. Thanks for coming on to the Gunstream, guys.
Check out my shit. Follow me.
And check out Trippy Poop's shit every once in a while. His Trippy cast is pretty funny.
It is.
Laters, cunts.